youngest champion.
That is incredible.
Emmitt Smith. Photo finish.
This is ABC Sports.
It's prime time in Charlotte, and this city is ready for Monday Night Football. When Monday Night Football has visited the city for the first time, we've been treated to some remarkable moments. On our first trip to Indianapolis, it was Halloween night, and Eric Dickerson had a monster night for the Colts.
And Dickerson's huge night continues his 4th touchdown.
Last week, in our first ever trip to Jacksonville, the Steelers had this field goal to win the game.
And it was a bad snap. Sweeney snapped it. It was a bad snap. And Chris Hudson's going to roll all the way to the end zone.
The Jaguars were winners in their primetime debut. And tonight, the Carolina Panthers host their first ever Monday night game. In every way, it's a big game for Carolina coach Dom Capers.
Playing the San Francisco 49ers, a division opponent, in a game for the division lead is certainly special enough. But when you're playing on Monday night and you know the whole country's going to be watching, it makes it extra special.
A roar will echo through the Carolinas tonight because the 49ers are here to face the Panthers on ABC's Monday Night Football.
Fun or what? We got it. We got to know. Bring on the game.
Like a freight train moving at the speed of light.
Like a knockout punch in a tight fight. Last year, the Panthers dethroned the Niners. Now the battle renews in Carolina.
You better be ready. You better get it right.
Why? Because this is Monday night.
Hit it. Come on and come on and get ready. Are you ready for some football?
Yeah, I'm ready.
A Monday night party. We got Frank and Al and Dan. They're gonna get it started. Chris and Lynn are all set. The crowd is psyched. All my rowdy friends are here. Monday night. Bring on the game.
Downtown Charlotte, North Carolina, on a beautiful southern evening. This is Erickson Stadium, another Monday night first as Monday Night Football visits the Erickson Stadium here in Charlotte, North Carolina. Happy you're with us. I hope you've been with us over the past few weeks. We've had some incredible games, some finishes down to the wire that are hard to describe. We have another good matchup now tonight coming up for you from the NFC West. The San Francisco 49ers taking on the Carolina Panthers. It's going to be a madhouse here tonight. Both teams were 12-4 a year ago, but Carolina knocked off San Francisco in both regular season games. They won the division, went on to lose to Green Bay in the conference championship. They come into tonight hurting on both sides of the ball. They are 2-2. Meanwhile, the San Francisco 49ers are 3-1. They are playing great defense. The offense is in gear once again, Al, after the past 2 games. They're happy with everything, but that was not the case when they limped out of Tampa Bay, having lost their season opener August 31st.
Frank, as you know, on August 31st, if Steve Mariucci, their new 41-year-old coach, looked like a zombie after that game, who could blame him? They had lost their opener. They had lost Jerry Rice probably for the season to a knee injury. They had lost Steve Young to a concussion, and he would begin to talk about possibly retiring. And their offensive line was in total disarray. But over the next couple of days, when they got back home, the defensive veterans came to Mariucci and said, we want the responsibility. We'll pick up the slack. And indeed, they've done exactly that, because the 49ers in 4 games have allowed a total of 3 touchdowns, none on the ground. And along the way, Steve Young got a clean bill of health, and he has been brilliant over the last 2 games. So the Niners right now on a mini roll, having won 3 straight. If they win tonight on the road against the next best team in the conference, or maybe the best team in at least the Western Division, if they can win here tonight, then the 49ers again will once again be one of the NFC's dominant teams. What else is new? Well, what's new is that Monday Night Football, Dan, comes to Charlotte, but they can't lose sight of the fact the Panthers can't. This is a huge game for them.
And they're kind of confidence challenged right now, Al. The Panthers, even though with that remarkable 12-4 run last year, they won the division, they're struggling a little bit right now in the psyche department. They won every game they played here at Ericsson Stadium last year. This year they've only played here twice, and they've lost both of those games. They had an air of invincibility that has kind of disappeared. Why? They're turning the ball over. Their turnover differential right now is a -5. Last year it was a +13. And they've had erratic play from Kerry Collins, their quarterback. Last year in a win against the 49ers, he threw for 327 yards and 3 touchdowns. Last week, he threw 4 interceptions and fumbled the ball in that loss against Kansas City. If the Panthers are going to win tonight, he's got to play like he played last year. Monday Night Football comes to the Carolinas. It's NFC West battle. The big boys go at it when we come back to Charlotte.
In today's market, it's more critical than ever that investors understand their own objectives. Prudential has 57 mutual funds at nearly every place along the risk-return spectrum, each designed around a specific objective. Investors can put together a set of funds that meet their needs. Consumers benefit from the investment culture at Prudential. Within the objectives of the fund, they have a portfolio manager who is focused on finding the best values in any particular market.
We interrupt your busy day to bring you a sigh of relief. Introducing new Ford Choice, the easiest way yet to get the most for your money. Now you can get Ford Escort with these standard features starting at just $11,695. Ford Contour with all these standard features starting at $14,995. Or Ford Taurus with these standard features starting at $18,795. It's that easy with new Ford Choice. We now return you to your regularly scheduled chaos.
Welcome to the sidelines. I'm Lynn Swann. With me, the head coach for the Panthers, Dom Capers. Dom, you've got a 3-1 record against the 49ers. What kind of magic to keep that going to make it 4-1 tonight?
Well, Lynn, when you're playing a talented team like the 49ers, we believe the first thing you have to do is minimize our errors. It's going to be a game of field position. We have to take good care of the ball on offense. We have to take it away on defense and create that field position with our special teams.
Coach, thank you and good luck.
Thank you, Lynn.
Al?
Thank you, Lynn. Beautiful sight. It's a fabulous stadium constructed in downtown Charlotte. Here we go with John Pacey to kick off. He went to the Pro Bowl last year. Chuck Levy and Ihani Uwezike back to receive for the 49ers. And taken 3 yards in by Uwezike. Out past the 20. And the 49ers' number 3 wide receiver brings it back to the 21-yard line. And now Steve Young to guide the Niner offense. A concussion opening day, sat out the second week against St. Louis. Been great against Atlanta and New Orleans in the last 2 weeks. And behind him, Garrison Hurst will also see a lot of Terry Kirby. William Floyd, the fullback. Stokes and Owens are the wideouts. Per usual, Brent Jones, the tight end. Derek East, the new left tackle, with Brown, Dolman, Gogan, and Strafford. They played very well playing in that alignment for the first time last week. And on first down, they give it to Floyd. Good hole through the middle, picks up 5. Mike Fox makes the tackle. As we take a look at the Carolina Panthers, who play a base 3-4. Fox, Greg Cragen, the longtime Bronco, and Gerald Williams up front. Barrow, Mills, the ageless wonder, Royal, and Lathan, the sackmaster on the outside. Davis is an ex-Niner. Poole, the other corner. Coda and Terrell are the safeties. Second down and 5 from the 26. And Young's first pass of the game is a swing pass caught by Hurst. He breaks a tackle and is forced out of bounds up at the 36-yard line. He broke a would-be Pat Terrell tackle and a first down for the 49ers on an 11-yard gain.
And the 49ers have to be happy right away. They got one of the sophisticated blitzes from Carolina. They come out of a 3-4, and you can do a lot of things out of a 3-4, but the 49er offensive line, Dan, and this is a put-together offensive line, really with chewing gum. They made a good pickup. Steve made a good read, got the completion.
Yeah, they sure did, Frank, but you know what? It's the best lineup they can put on the field, and now all they need is continuity.
From the 37, Hurst tackled in the backfield. Mike Fox makes the tackle, so he's made the tackle on 2 of the first 3 plays. Fox, in his 8th year out of West Virginia, the great Jerry Rice missing a Monday night game for the first time since '87 when the players were on strike, but without crutches, without a cast. He just has that knee wrap. He walks with a little bit of a limp, but thinks he can come back if the Niners get to the playoffs.
And he's still part of the glue that holds this team together. We'll talk about that story when they left Tampa Bay after that loss.
2nd down and 12, and Young throws, and it's caught by Floyd. And William Floyd, who had a big day out of the backfield in San Francisco last week, takes it to the 44. It'll be 3rd down and 3.
You're right, Al. He caught 7 passes last week for 85 yards in the fullback position in San Francisco, just like Tom Rathman before that. It is a receiving position more than a running position, and you can see why. That was a nice handle of a low outside ball from Steve Young by William Floyd. That was no easy catch, Frank.
And a good end zone shot to show you the read that Steve Young had. There's multiple receivers coming out of this West Coast offense.
3rd and a short 3. Sole setback is Floyd. They give it to him, and William Floyd picks up the 1st down to the 49. So the Niners show pass on 3rd and 3 with the ace back, and it's Floyd saluting himself. 1st down, 7-yard gain.
Niners beat the blitz again. And that run is so effective. You pop through there. If you come with the blitz, you're going to get big yardage out of it. And that time the blitz man just came right by William Floyd. You'll see him. Here he comes, Mills. He gets right by Floyd. Now there's a big opening where he was. And a big pickup and a 1st down.
Off the quick count, Garrison Hurst behind a convoy. And Hurst, who was drafted by Arizona, then spent last year at Cincinnati, now in his 1st year as a Niner, gets 7. Gogan and Brown led the way.
You go back to that last play. Talk about respect. Sam Mills was playing Steve Young in his ability to move with the football. How often do you see a guy like Sam Mills, who's been around the league as long as this guy, 12 years, run right past the handoff and the ball carrier? That is a rarity in Sam Mills' career.
Sam goes all the way back to the USFL, as does Dom Capers in the early 80s. Here's Hurst on 2nd and short. Nice gain, and the Niners have a nice little opening drive in progress. Mills again makes the tackle. 1st down, San Francisco at the Panther 37.
If you're not familiar with the 49ers, Steve Mariucci, the head coach, calls the offensive plays, and he has been in such great sync. There he is walking the sidelines in such great sync with Steve Young. And what a fine blend of pass and run we've seen thus far on this drive. And when you're moving the ball on the ground, like the 49ers are doing right now, their passing game is just that much more effective.
8th play of the drive upcoming. 1st down from the 37-yard line. A short drop by Young. He hits J.J. Stokes, and Stokes gets tackled at the 22. And minus Jerry Rice, Mariucci said, look, we just have to spread it around, and that's exactly what they've been doing on this opening drive.
A couple of big outside receivers in J.J. Stokes. Over on the other side is Terrell Owens. He is 6'3". Stokes is 6'4", and they're going against tiny cornerbacks. Tyrone Poole is 5'8" over in the corner, number 38. He's giving away a lot of height and a lot of big man.
On 1st down, the deep drop this time. Young looking for 6 and overthrows the intended receiver Owezike, who'd gotten behind the corner, angled himself toward the corner of the end zone, but the pass a little high, as Jerry Rice observes.
Ooh, but he was open. Steve Young would love to have that one back again, and he had a safety covering him, so I think we might see that again.
A little less than 5 minutes into the game, and you know the Young story. Heard on opening day, he last year suffered a couple of concussions, had the groin pulled, and a lot of his family members were telling him he should retire. But he was gone for just a week, and over the last 2 weeks, he's been near flawless. On 2nd and 10, they give it to Hurst. Big hole. The Niners doing a great job run blocking up front early on in the game, and it's 3rd down and 3, tackled by Eric Davis.
Boy, Dan, they have to be so happy with the output of this offensive line. Remember when we were out there in the summer for the exhibition game against Jacksonville? They were really worried.
Well, they've lost the services of Harris Barton, who would be starting at left tackle. Derek Deese has played inside. There's Harris Barton on the 49ers sideline. They've moved Deese to left tackle. He has really played. Last week, his first game there, he has really solidified things for the 49ers. This is a fabulous start for them up front.
3rd and 3, and they give it to Kirby, and he breaks the tackle and picks up the 1st down, and they do it again on the ground. He's inside the 10. It'll be 1st down and goal.
Kirby and Hurst have turned into a great change of pace, if you will, at that running back position for the 49ers. Both are good receivers. Hurst had a couple of big games rushing early in the year. Then he came back for the last couple of games as a good receiver. But this is Kirby. We know about him as a receiver. 75 receptions as a rookie with Miami a few years ago. But last week he scored twice on the ground.
And a lot in this drive, what we've seen so far, missed tackles by the Panthers. Not as crisp as they normally are.
Opening drive of the game. It's consumed 6 minutes, and Young tries to make it pay off, and does on a touchdown pass to Terrell Owens.
After a wonderful pickup of a blitz by Garrison Hurst.
And we talked about the size. Terrell Owens matched up with a 5'8" Tyrone Poole. That's a mismatch. You go man for man. And that was exactly what Steve Young and Terrell Owens did. He just used his height, and Poole just couldn't handle it man for man. He needed help either the inside or covering the outside. He didn't get it.
I don't know how Steve Mariucci saw this game beginning, but it could not have been better than this.
Gary Anderson for the point after. In the meantime, last week the Panthers gave up the most points in the brief history of this team, 35 to Kansas City. As you see the Hurst block, the payoff to Owens. The Niners with a perfect opening drive and lead 7-0.
Adolphus Busch went to Germany every summer and spent 2 to 3 months touring the hop fields and the fields where the barley is grown in Europe and looking at different breweries. And he wrote a series of letters back to his son. September the 20th, 1897. I would advise that we buy the finest growths of barley as soon as we can. We cannot make fine malt from inferior barley. And we cannot make fine beer from inferior malt. Adolphus Busch to August A. Busch Sr., September the 20th, 1897.
There are millions of reasons to fly today. Only one that matters to you. At Delta Airlines, it is our pleasure to get you to the place you want to be. Delta Airlines, on top of the world.
Thank you.
Oh, that was a...
And we're back in Charlotte. Another look at the payoff to that first drive. 79 yards. Owens for the touchdown. He scored last week in San Francisco, went over to the sideline and gave the football to Jerry Rice. Tommy Thompson with a very short kick, fielded by Bates, Michael Bates from the 16, and the Olympic sprinter runs it back out to the 33-yard line.
Well, the Panthers want a call on a late hit. They thought that Bates got hit on the sidelines.
No flag.
Okay, Bongo, wave. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Come on, he's never gonna get it. Yeah, finally learned to wave bye-bye.
The new redesigned Ford Ranger, the only compact pickup built Ford tough.
We're back at Ericsson Stadium where we're down in the final seconds of the game and it's still tied. The kick's high.
Ericsson mobile phones. Catch the excitement.
Green Bay is a small town. When someone leaves here, it means something. It means the entire community has been diminished. It means an acquaintance, a neighbor, a friend has left your life forever. Most importantly, it means there's now some extra seats available for Sunday's game.
While it's awfully tough to get tickets from the Super Bowl champs, it's absolutely impossible with American Express. So bring your Visa card.
Go Packers.
The official card of the NFL.
Kirstie Alley.
I'm the Tooth Fairy.
In a Wonderful World of Disney.
And I'm the Easter Bunny.
Original motion picture. Toothless. ABC Sunday at 7, 6 Central.
Carolina has the ball for the first time, and Kerry Collins out of Penn State picked in the first round, the 5th player chosen overall in 1995. Guided them into the NFC Championship game last year. Anthony Johnson starting at running back, Scott Green the fullback, Ernie Mills and the rookie Ray Caruth outside. Wesley Walls, his favorite target at tight end. Collins' favorite target. Brockemeyer, Elliott, Garcia, Skrepanak, and Davids Garrido up front. It's Anthony Johnson on their first play of the game. He's wrapped up by the middle linebacker Ken Norton after a gain of 3. 2nd and 7. Now that Niner defense, and they've been brilliant through the first quarter of the season. Barker, the great Bryant Young, as good as they come as an interior defensive lineman. Stubblefield and the veteran Chris Dolman. Then the linebackers, Woodall, the veteran Plummer in the middle, and Ken Norton Jr. on the outside. Rod Woodson is back. Missed last week with a calf strain. Darnell Walker, the other corner. McDonald and Hanks are the safeties. They're minus Marquez Pope, who would normally start. That's why Walker gets to start in the secondary. On 2nd and 7. A gain of 1 as Bryant Young comes in to bust up the play, and you look at one of the subplots in the game, Kevin Green, who played here last year. That's the reason for the booing. He held out. They finally released him, and he signed with San Francisco in the game for the first time here.
And this is going to be a package that the 49ers are going to run on passing situations. I believe they're going to go with 5 defensive linemen.
Hey, you right there.
They're going to cover everybody off down inside. You have to count Green as basically one of the linemen. There he is. He's standing up on the top.
3rd and 6, and here he comes, and he gets picked up by Oliver on a nice block, and then there is no interference, but now there is. One official didn't reach for the flag, but the other had a better view and said, you bet. Mark Carrier, the intended receiver, and he was hooked up with Rod Woodson.
Well, Rod Woodson was all over him, and the flag did come in late, but there was some pushing and shoving way beyond the line of scrimmage.
Pass interference.
Yes.
26 on the defense. First down.
Pass rush was on, and you can see Woodson right there. He got the hand in on the chest, under the chin. Rod Woodson, very clever the way he does this. He's been around a little bit, but the official was looking right in on it. Woodson is a gambling cornerback. Had a great game against New Orleans a couple of weeks ago. 3 interceptions, fumble recovery.
25-yard penalty. Now from the 39, Collins has time, but the secondary does the job. Perry then takes off and slides to a hold at the 36-yard line. Turned what would have been a loss into a 3-yard gain. It'll be 2nd down and 7. Greg Skrepanak is still on the turf. The huge, the monstrous guard out of Michigan at 6'7", 325.
And this is a critical injury for the Panthers because Skrepanak's duty more often than not is to block Bryant Young.
Injury timeout.
Nathanson Creek.
Go where you wanna go. Leave the boundaries far behind you.
Introducing the all-new Goodyear Eagle F1 with racing-inspired dual aqua channels that sweep water away for serious traction in the wet, especially in braking. The new ultra-high-performance Goodyear Eagle F1.
Serious freedom. Goodyear, Goodyear.
This is the Triton-powered Ford F-150, and this is a 102,000-pound earth mover. Now that's what we call taking the bulldozer by the horns. Ford F-Series, built Ford tough.
For 20 million people, it was love at first sight.
Sergeant Greg, kiss me on the double.
Where exactly would that be, Captain?
Jorma and Greg, ABC, Wednesday.
Greg Strepanek is bent over the training table. At that angle, it's either something with a shoulder or a back. Bucky Greeley, a second-year player from Penn State, replaces him at right guard. Again, that matchup with Bryant Young.
On second down and 7, good protection, going deep, and then it's knocked away at the last moment as it floated. Ray Caruth, the rookie from Colorado, their #1 draft choice, had beaten the coverage. But Drakeford got back there along with Hanks, and they batted away at the last instant.
Oh, and he was wide open, the rookie from Colorado. He has great speed. A good move on Rod Woodson, just destroyed Rod Woodson. He made a good recovery, but he got help from the middle. Look at this move to the outside. That's actually Drakeford who was beaten on that play. And he made the recovery, but that ball was just underthrown. That should have been 6. Collins just didn't get it there.
They got Caruth because Dom Capers said we needed a big play guy. But one went awry right there. They had it. Third down and 7, and Collins gets buried at the 41-yard line by Chris Dolman, the longtime Viking, now in his 13th year out of the University of Pittsburgh, and really playing as well as ever.
Well, he gets the sack, Dan, but he ought to go back there and shake hands with the secondary. They put the coverage on. Collins had nowhere to put that ball.
Well, you're right, Frank. Dolman, though, it's one of those guys with the speed, enough speed to go upfield and then be able to stop and work his way back in, and that's exactly what he did right there. You had the good 4 seconds to throw the football, but Chris Dolman, to his credit, kept working, got past Brockermeyer, and got in and made the sack.
7th all-time in sacks, 118.5. They'll take a delay of game penalty if the Niners accept it here. That's the reason they haven't broken the huddle yet. Ken Walter will punt. The line of scrimmage is the 41, and the 49ers, you would think, would decline it. Because if the offense wants it, why should the defense give it to them? And George Stewart says we decline it.
We're in that gray area where if they kick from here, punt from here, he can't really kick away. If he could get a 5-yard penalty and he's not going to get it, I don't think they'll decline it. And it is declined. So
why not?
He's still going to have the problem of not being able to fully kick away.
Why not give it to them? Simple. Because they want it.
That's exactly it. But they may not even know why they want it. Just don't give it to them.
Ken Walter, who has spent the last few years as a bowl boy in the Cleveland Browns and then the Baltimore Ravens camp, a Cinderella story, won the punting job, and he'll try to angle this one out of bounds as he kicks it toward the corner, but he cannot get it into the coffin corner before it bounces in the end zone for the touchback. So the Niners will get it at the 20 with 5:43 left in the opening quarter in Charlotte. 7-0 San Francisco.
Freedom in the Air, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. With fares so low, you have the freedom to fly. In Week 2, the Chiefs trailed the rival Raiders late in the 4th. Could they pull it out? Stay tuned.
Who cares of the past or behind?
Wouldn't you love to be free? To go wherever your whims take you? Whenever you want. For any reason at all.
Drifting along with a tumbling tumbleweed.
With Southwest, you can.
You are now free to move about the country.
Down by 5, Elvis Gerbach, Lake Dawson, and Andre Rison combined on one final frantic drive as Kansas City handed Oakland a stunning defeat.
Rush from the outside, Gerbach throwing for the end zone. He's got a touchdown!
Are you going to fix that fence today?
Yep.
1948 was the first year for Ford F-Series, and after 50 years, there are more tough F-Series trucks still on the road today than any other make. Ford F-Series, built Ford tough for 50 years strong.
It's been 50 years, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe it's about time you fix that fence.
Yeah.
Tomorrow on the season premiere, there's just one thing you need to know. Is Andy a killer? New Blue is back.
We talked about Steve Young the last 2 games. Now, granted, the opposition was New Orleans and Atlanta, hardly 2 powerhouses, but still as close to perfect as you can get.
A quarterback rating at 155.3 is perfect. He's 155.2. 158.3 is perfect. He's 155.2.
And now the Niners have the ball for the second time. Screen, Garrison Hurst, but breaking up the play from behind was Michael Barrow, a guy they picked up from the Oilers. They had hoped to play him inside. Then when Kevin Green didn't sign, they had to move him to the outside. Monday Night Football is being brought to you by Ford and your Ford dealer who's driven a Ford lately. Bud Light, if you want great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down, make it a Bud Light. Lucent Technologies, we make the things that make communications work. And Nathanson Creek Wines. Second and 10 from the 20-yard line. Inside handoff, and they give it to Hurst, and he picks up 8. And the Niners doing a great job on the ground. Pat Terrell makes the stop.
49ers so far in this young season are averaging just a little less than 100 yards a game on the ground. But they're going to eclipse the century mark tonight if they keep going the way they have started. Good crisp blocking between the tackles. They bounced it outside a couple times. And this crowd getting into it because I believe they sense that if the 49ers put together another scoring drive, their home team's in big trouble.
3rd down and 2, and they keep it on the ground. And this time they come up with the play as Kirby gets wrapped up by Andre Royal. And when Green left and they moved Barrow to the outside, Royal was the beneficiary as he got the starting spot inside.
So right, Al, he was a great special teams player, but without Kevin Green, they had to move Barrow back there. And Andre Royal got a start on the inside, and he's been terrific on the inside.
It was the loss of repetitions during training camp because of Kevin Green's absence.
That's exactly right.
That Dom Capers says has really hurt our defense. We didn't know who was going to play where, and basically we lost those 6 weeks of repetitions.
Tommy Thompson to punt. Winslow Oliver back to receive it. Good kick. 50 yards. Oliver from the 21 wrapped up at the 27. That's where Carolina will take over with 3:36 to go in the opening quarter. And there is a penalty marker. So
it's right on the sidelines here, about the 36.
I wonder if that could have been an illegal formation. I don't know if they had enough men on the line of scrimmage.
Personal foul against Carolina.
Well, again, here we go. Pre-kick or post-kick. If it's before the kick, the 49ers will keep the football. The timing of this penalty is everything.
It was 4th and 1. Brad Seeley, the special teams coach, barking at the line judge. Johnny Greer will tell us.
Personal foul, number 25 of the receiving team, hitting the player while he was out of bounds. The foul was during the kick.
That's Eric Davis, the ex-49er. And so Carolina will have the ball, but they'll back them up. 7-0 Niners.
When you come into Home Depot, there are professionals in every department.
We have journeyman electricians,
master plumbers.
We've got roofers.
We hire the most experienced people in the market. You've got people in every department in our store that have come through the trades or through the pro business.
Doing what they love, doing what they know.
I cannot let you leave here not knowing how to do it correctly. We're expected to be the best.
It's not, I read a pamphlet on this and I think I know what I'm talking about. It's, I know this product and I'm going to show you how to use it.
The Prudential Helping Heart grant was extremely important to know that we really can make a big difference, that somebody was alive because we were there with the right equipment at the right time.
Quest to shop.
Prudential really cared about getting emergency care out to the people in the field.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here to pay last respects to the internet as we know it. Lucent brings new life to net, less congestion, phone calls and faxes over net, and CD quality sound. Lucent Technologies. We make the things that make communications work.
College football comes your way on Saturday. National telecast early at noon Eastern time. Miami against unbeaten and 4th-ranked Florida State. In those games regionally, Iowa, Ohio State, Notre Dame, Stanford, Texas A&M, Colorado later in the afternoon. And what a beauty we have next week. Both unbeaten. The Patriots go to Denver to face the Broncos, and Pete Carroll has his team already preparing for that game in Foxborough as we come back here at the 11-yard line. 3:36 left in the quarter. Carolina has the ball, and Tamanga Biakabatuka gets knocked down. Pete Carroll had his team working out tonight. This taking place within the hour, about 45 minutes ago at Foxborough. A night workout under the lights. Drew Bledsoe and company as the New England Patriots off their bye week 4-0 will take on the Broncos. A great matchup in Denver on Monday Night Football next week.
Boy,
real beauty.
We are everywhere. We're on top of it.
Tamanga Biakabatuka, the fake to him, and then the pass is rifled incomplete, intended for the ex-Steeler Ernie Mills. It'll be 3rd down. Rod Woodson covering on the play.
Well, first of all, Bryant Young broke through and nailed Biakabatuka for absolutely nothing. Now, with this, you end up in the situation the Panthers just cannot make a habit of finding themselves in 3rd and 10. Now it is the 49ers that are pretty much able to dictate defensively, and it's up to Kerry Collins to try to figure out what's coming at him.
That's Bryant Young jumping. Was he induced is the question.
He's saying he was, but they're prone to say that.
Encroachment. 97 on a defense. Still 3rd down.
Nobody on the 49er coaching staff is going to chastise Bryant Young. He has extraordinary quickness for a man his size, and part of that is trying to anticipate the snap count and get a jump. This is a guy, watch him right there in the middle, number 97. It was a hard count by Collins, and he pulled the trigger and went. Bryant Young, in my mind, looks like the reincarnation of Randy White with that type of power and quickness.
3rd and
they didn't get it off.
Oh, boy.
Well, guess what? It's 3rd and 10 again.
11. Move it back to the 10-yard line.
Right. They picked up 5, and now they just handed it right back.
And Dom Capers, who has watched his team
offense, still 3rd down.
Through its first 2 years, executes so well fundamentally, especially for an expansion team. This year, all of a sudden, the Panthers find themselves more prone to getting penalized than in the past 2 seasons.
Saw Kerry Collins talking to Mark Carrier. Mark Carrier coming in only 2 weeks ago when they lost Mushin Muhammad, their leading receiver, and he's just kind of getting back to these things.
3rd down and 11. Good protection, and the throw in traffic is incomplete. He tried to thread the needle to Ernie Mills, but he was sandwiched on the play, and the Panthers are forced to punt. Darnell Walker and Zach Bronson with the coverage, and as usual, Dom Capers continues to take copious notes.
Wonder how you spell sloppy. Well, that was a very sloppy series. Ernie Mills, good coverage. Ben Bronson over there to help the corner.
Collins has started the game 0 for his first 3. Now Ken Walter, the punt, line of scrimmage to 10. Ihani Owezuke backs up, good kick, flag down, 50-yard boot. Owezuke is into Carolina territory, but there's a marker down at the 16-yard line.
Now this was thrown from the sideline. Guy looking down the line of scrimmage realizes that one of the Panthers was downfield.
Well, again, before or after, because it was a good return by Uwezuke, and the 49ers could have good field position.
Well, the 49ers, I would suspect, will decline this and take the field position.
Was downfield prematurely. The penalty is declined. 1st down.
Kenan Tatum was downfield, and so the Niners get the ball in Panther territory at the 46. And here's tonight's NFL Budweiser news. Don Beebe hurt yesterday, but he returned with his teammates last night, wore his game pants on the plane. He'll speak with a neurologist tomorrow. Jason Elam, the kicker for Denver, and Howard Griffith are hurt, uncertain for Monday night against the Pats. And Deion Sanders yesterday, 13th return touchdown of his NFL career. Steve Young, play fake, buys time. takes off. Everybody's heart in their throats along the 49ers sideline every time Young runs now, and he's knocked down at the 44.
I didn't help him out when I talked to him earlier tonight. He, of course, is from Greenwich, Connecticut, our home, and he said, "You had a concussion once too, didn't you?" And I looked at him. I said, "Yeah." And he said, "How did it go?" And I said, "I was out a year."
Yeah, you're the last guy in the world.
I kind of patted him. He's doing exactly the right thing. He's got the best people possible to speak with. He is very confident. They are very confident. He's not at risk. He's doing what he loves to do, and I'm all for it.
2nd and 8 at the 44-yard line. Young reverse roll, and the catch is made. Great catch by Owens at the 30. And if there's one, I don't want to say advantage, but if something good can come out of Rice's injury, Owens and Stokes have the opportunity to emerge.
Well, first of all, a tremendous counter fake to William Floyd going the other direction. The 49ers had 2 of their offensive line going to the left. Look at that. Look at that tremendous fake. Steve Young rolls, and that is just a highlight catch by Terrell Owens. Stabbing it with the right hand high and behind him. That's the kind of help every quarterback needs.
Now they go back to the ground, and it's a 3-yard gain for Garrison Hurst. Minute and a half to go, opening quarter. Niners lead 7-0 as they seek their 4th win in a row.
Well, they knew that Owens was for real a year ago when Stokes went down in the 5th game, and Owens came on and he started the rest of the season and made some rather spectacular plays and gave the indication he's going to develop into this kind of a quarterback. But you're right, Al, with Jerry Rice out of there, these 2 guys on the outside, Stokes and Owens, have really had to step up, and they've done just that.
Look at that, a blanking already. 107 yards for the Niners and a goose egg for Carolina. And they'll add a few more as Brent Jones makes the catch, and sooner or later he's going to get into the flow because they have been going to the outside guys, and that means you can't double Jones, and Steve's favorite target gets open. First down.
Well, they went with the linebacker on Jones, and he has just such soft hands. He came into tonight with 400 receptions. Look, they're trying to get coverage back there with the linebacker. Andre Royal, no way in the world you're going to cover Jones with a linebacker. Every time they let him off the line of scrimmage, try and cover him that way, Steve Young is going to go to him because he's his favorite receiver. He always knows where Jones is.
First down at the 12-yard line. Hurst. And Hurst fights his way to the 3-yard line. It's going to be 2nd down and 1, and a little bit more than 3 for the touchdown when the 2nd quarter begins, because that is the end of the 1st quarter in Charlotte. All 49ers to this point. San Francisco leading 7-0, and Monday Night Football returns after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
See it switch on 4-wheel drive. Go where others fear to tread. Friday. The new Ford Ranger. Whoa, that was cool.
Yeah. So what are we gonna do tomorrow?
Saturday.
The new redesigned Ford Ranger, the only compact pickup built Ford tough.
There's a Best Western located close to the Basketball Hall of Fame. Best Western, across the street from Ordinary.
What was that? The Word of God. I told you, it has quite an impact.
Dan Aykroyd in the season premiere of Soul Man, ABC tomorrow.
For the hot debate on the election issues, turn to 570 KBI.
Some say Initiative 676 is about gun safety. Some say it's gun confiscation.
Many people say they believe nothing a political candidate says. That is why millions tune to me.
677 isn't really about sex or tolerance. It's all about big government.
The question is, will Initiative 685 ease suffering, or is it a gateway to legalize drugs?
News and views you won't get anywhere else on hot election issues. Hot Talk 570 KBI.
Feed your playoff fever. Watch Mariners Magic tonight.
Downtown Charlotte, the Nations Bank building is the largest building, and there she is. NFL, it says, on one building, ABC on the other. The shots from the Spirit of Akron, the Goodyear blimp high above Charlotte on a beautiful, beautiful early autumn night. Not so beautiful on the field, though. Niners lead and threaten, and a second down and 1, and William Floyd has a first down, lost the ball, but after the play had been whistled dead. First and goal from the 2. And Vic Fangio, the defensive coordinator, he watched his team give up 35 points last week, and they've been unable to do anything with the Niner offense to this point tonight.
Seated on the other side of the booth is Joe Pendry, their offensive coordinator. And those two can argue about whose unit is off to a worse start.
The dead heat.
Pendry's unit has yet to gain a single yard. Fangio's unit is struggling to keep the Niners out of the end zone, and they're forced to take a timeout.
Well, the Panthers were trying to get a man off the field. They had 12 on the field, and they saw that they weren't going to do it, so they had to call timeout.
Early in the second, 7-0 San Francisco. Back in Charlotte, Al Michaels, Frank Gifford, Dan Dierdorf, and Lynn Swann on a beautiful night. Monday Night Football coming to North Carolina for the first time ever, and the 49ers have a first and goal at the Panther 2-yard line with a double tight end set, and the Niners up 7-0. Young will do it himself. Touchdown, San Francisco.
And the hardest hit he took might have been when his own guy, Kevin Gogan, landed on top of him in the end zone.
Steve Young only knows one way to play this game, and that is 100%. He's not going to be busy protecting that body, although the past couple of games he's stayed more in the pocket than he ordinarily would have, but right then he had an opportunity to throw it.
Remember the old days, Frank? People used to say if he wasn't a quarterback, he'd be a starting running back. Well, ask Michael Barrow. I think he just had a running back move put on him by Young, and he whiffed.
Gary Anderson for the extra point. So this huge crowd so excited at the outset, but the 49ers have turned this into, what do you call it? Hush hush, sweet Charlotte. It's quiet right now. 14-0.
That's your Pussycats.
There you go.
You know what, Grandpa?
What?
Mommy said that Grandma's pizza will make your heart burn.
My heartburn. Oh, heartburn. Well, your mommy doesn't know about my secret weapon for heartburn, Pepsid AC. See, I always take one before I eat your grandma's pizza.
So your heart won't burn?
Not even if I put green peppers all over the whole thing.
Green peppers, you eat those things?
Yes.
I like anchovies.
You can be heartburn-free with Pepsid AC.
All they want is someone to go down for the crime.
For 2 out-of-control cops.
The man in the car was DEA undercover.
The best place to hide
We're gonna find the killer.
is behind a badge.
We are the killers.
Gang-related. Rated R. Starts October 8th.
Shh. Listen. When I look at this car, it's the same way as if I'm looking at myself. You have to physically touch things. You have to use your visual senses. You smell. This is our AC sniffer. Listen, tings and dings and clicks and clacks, a buzz, a hum, clink, a tick, an annoying anything that people normally wouldn't hear, I have to hear. It's not easy being me. I would say I'm the most critical person in the plant.
This was a large, medium, and small pizza. Now Little Caesars says this is a large, medium, and small. Will everything get bigger? Little Caesars' new Big Pizzas dwarf the competition. Small $5.99, medium $7.99, large $9.99.
Bigger.
Everyone agrees. Lisa McCree makes it look easy. A genuine gem. Lisa McCree, Charlie Gibson. Good Morning America. Check it out.
There's Michael Barrow on the sidelines. He's very frustrated. He can't believe that he whiffed on Steve Young at the 2-yard line.
Tommy Thompson's kick. This is Michael Bates. Flag comes in. Bates runs it back to the 29-yard line. Special teams coach George Stewart. Johnny Greer says holding Carolina as their woes continue. Here's a reminder, tomorrow night, the Tuesday night lineup on ABC, Home Improvement, Soul Man, season premiere. Then another home improvement followed by Hiller and Diller, and NYPD Blue makes its season premiere. Then Spin City, great new show Dharma and Greg, the Drew Carey Show, Ellen, and Primetime Live on Wednesday. So a big week, Tuesday and Wednesday on ABC, and of course next Monday night we go to Denver for the battle of the unbeatens as the Patriots at 4-0 take on the Broncos at 5-0. Denver and New England next week on Monday Night Football. From the 19-yard line, Collins throws and nobody's home. Second down. Intended for Anthony Johnson. Monday Night Football is being brought to you by Budweiser. This Bud's for you. Cadillac and your Cadillac dealers. And Ericsson mobile phones catch the excitement.
You mentioned at the very top, this is truly a state-of-the-art stadium. We had a chance to tour it last night. It is absolute perfection. Great for the fans, but also great for the players who train here.
It's like a spa. It looks like Canyon Ranch downstairs. Second down and 10. And this is Anthony Johnson picking up 3 up to the 22-yard line. First-class spa for these guys. Locker room is beautiful. Whirlpools.
Yes, it's very nice, Al.
Beautiful. They should sell timeshares here.
Jerry Richardson, the owner of this franchise, went out of his way to make this a state-of-the-art facility, and he sure has succeeded. It's impossible to be here and not be impressed.
Third down and 7 from the 22-yard line.
Of course, Al impressed more than most.
Of course. Collins throws, and it is picked off at the 36-yard line by Merton Hanks, and he works the sideline and is out of bounds near the 10.
And Bryant Young was right in the chest of Kerry Collins when he was throwing that football. And Bryant Young again disrupting the Carolina offense with an outstanding play on their side of the football.
And Merton Hanks was right up at the line of scrimmage, right in the face of Westy Walls. He worked on him a little beyond the 5-yard marker, but then again, you're right, Dan, when he had to release the ball, he released it behind Walls. He didn't even see Walls with Bryant Young in his face.
Well, Collins wasn't able to step into it, Frank. He threw it flat-footed, and the ball just got away from him. And this football game is on the verge of getting away from the Panthers.
From the 10-yard line, Young, screen, caught by Kirby, and Kirby gets banged out of bounds at the 3-yard line behind a Kevin Gogan block. Pat Terrell made the stop.
That is a big hunk of humanity out in front of Terry Kirby. Kevin Gogan, 6'7", 330-plus pounds, and he just floats down the line of scrimmage, and boy, he's just tough to get around. This is a life-threatening situation for the Panthers right now.
Marty Mornhinweg, the new offensive coordinator of the 49ers, has his unit working close to perfection. Up by 14, threatening again. Second and goal, timing pattern, and Eric Davis with the coverage on the play to J.J. Stokes, and complete third down.
Good coverage. Once again, we'll go back to what we said at the very beginning. The cornerbacks for the Panthers are giving away an enormous amount of size to the outside receivers of the 49ers, and that was good coverage by Eric Davis. He forced Owens to the outside, and Young had overthrown it.
Nothing against Tyrone Poole, who you're looking at right there, but if I have to choose between Poole and Eric Davis, I go after Poole.
Big play for the Panthers to stop them here and limit them to 3. Third down and goal from the 7-yard line. Young chased, throws, and incomplete. And doing the job that time was Lamar Latham in a real pressure situation for Carolina. I mean, 17-0 is one thing after the interception that takes it back to the 10. 21-0 might write a finish to it.
That's good defensive play by Carolina when they needed it. Lamar Latham, the other former Houston Oiler, along with Michael Barrow, that are bookend linebackers in this 3-4 defense for Carolina.
25-yard field goal attempt by Gary Anderson, who's been kicking since 1982, the longtime Steeler. Now in his first season with the 49ers, and thanks to the Hanks interception, the Niners get 3 more. San Francisco 17, Carolina nothing.
It's a cage. Yes, it's a cage. what you place human beings in, and they have to be protected somehow. We have to sacrifice one of each model to prove that the other ones are just as good. One way to test any product is to tear it down.
Me personally, I'm glad we do it because that's something that I can lay the old Mark I eyeball on, and I know that exactly what I have. I'm not trusting anything except myself to know it's correct.
Excuse me, is the seat taken?
With the power of new Visa Platinum, you can rent a villa in St. Bart's, while away the long tropical days, sharing Coquille Saint-Jacques with Nastasia Kinski. Of course, you're fired. You'd lose your job. You hate Coquille Saint-Jacques, and Nastasia is actually dating a European kickboxer called
Serge.
But with the exceptional purchase power of the new Visa Platinum card, isn't it really nice to know you could? Visa Platinum, it's everywhere you want to be.
We're back at Ericsson Stadium where we're down to the final seconds of the game, and it's still tied. The kick's high.
Ericsson mobile phones. Catch the excitement.
The undefeated Patriots, the undefeated Broncos. Don't miss the big shootout on ABC's Monday Night Football. Bring on the game now!
The Carolina Panthers 17-0, trailing at this point to the 49ers.
Looking at the camera shots from above of some of the 49er offensive formations.
In awe.
They're playing right now like they haven't seen them before.
Tommy Thompson's kick fielded by Bates. And Bates to the short side of the field, skirts the sideline, and brings it to the 49er 48-yard line. Exactly what the Panthers needed to get themselves back into the game and bring the crowd back into the game.
Well, they needed some semblance of a spark, and that certainly was it by Bates. Not to mention the outstanding field position of getting to start in San Francisco territory.
Tommy Thompson is there to make the stop at the end, or help make the stop, or
with one shoe.
Yep.
That's as good as a guy with one shoe can do.
Great move by Bates, though. He's a sprinter. Everybody figures he's going to go to the wider side of the field, and he cut it back and exploded. 53-yard run back. Collins, who is 0 for 5 from the 48-yard line. Under pressure, throws, and that is caught by Mark Carrier, who was not re-signed by Carolina, and then they brought him back. So he's back for a second week and has a first down at the 28. Rod Woodson there for the tackle. 19-yard gain.
Good protection now for Collins. He's big, 6'5", and drilled it right over the middle, right into the chest of Carrier, who was with the Panthers a year ago. They didn't bring him back. He didn't go with any other team, but he was the best one to bring back when they lost Mushid Mohammed, because he knows the system.
Collins' first completion of the night. He's now 1 of 6, and it's Anthony Johnson with a nice run through the middle for a gain of 6, and it will be second down and 4. Michael Bates is sort of shaking his head, figuring, I got 53, but I thought I could have gotten 101.
If he hadn't been brushed a little bit by Thompson, he could have maybe taken it all the way. Thompson played it very smart. He made him come back to the inside.
Second down and 4 as the Panthers try to scramble back into the game. Green in there in a stand-up position. They take him out of the play, and now Johnson comes back the other way. Collins throws a block, but nowhere to roam as Johnson is tackled at about the line of scrimmage.
Well, that's the quickness of this 49er defense, though. It looked like there was going to be a big opening over the left side when Johnson reversed his field, but everyone was over there so quickly, headed by Plummer. It's really an important drive for Carolina. They're not a big comeback team. They don't have the type of people that they can come back from way down. They need to put some points on the board.
This is that 5 defensive lineman front here that the 49ers like to use. They've got one of the guys standing up.
Third and 4, and a sliding grab is made by the Rocket Ismail for a first down. The much-traveled Rocket, who began in Canada, then he went to the Raiders. He's never really come to the fore, and here he's a reserve receiver, but a big play here.
And they go right to work on Darrell Walker. Walker in there because of Marcus Pope. He's out with a broken toe or tendon in his toe. Won't be back for several more weeks. Walker giving Ishmael a lot of room in front because of that speed.
And Winslow Oliver with an outstanding block to give him time to throw.
And Collins drops the football. It's loose.
Well, Kerry Collins turned the ball over 5 times last week, and that makes 2 tonight. He had 4 interceptions and a fumble last week. Now he's got 1 interception and 1 fumble.
Boy, and that's the offensive formula of Dom Capers. Don't turn the football over. Get good field position. Don't hurt yourself. Carolina in great field position. That was just a bad exchange.
The snap from Frank Garcia was right in the hands of Collins. It appeared to be up and right where it had to be.
And then it gets kicked by an offensive lineman and recovered by the 49ers.
Center and quarterback talk about it on the sidelines.
From the 16-yard line, they give it to Garrison Hurst, and he starts back the other way and picks up 5 to the 21, where he's tackled by Chad Cota. Collins and Garcia talking about the exchange.
That's Jim McNally, their offensive line coach, right there in the middle. Garcia is telling Collins, I had to go to my right. And he's got to move to his right to make whatever block was necessary on that play.
So Garcia delivers his message, and this is Garrison Hurst taking it up to the 30-yard line, where he's tackled by Lamar Lathan, and that's a first down.
Hurst is really running tough once again. Had a pretty good year last year at Cincinnati. Came up as the #1 draft pick of Arizona back in 1993 with great credentials. And then, of course, the knee and it set him back for a year or two. And he is really back together again. Tough runner. And he's a good receiver out of the backfield. And he can block well when Terry Kirby is in there as a twosome.
He and Kirby pretty much like 1 and 1A. And Hurst, huge hole, gains 15 out to the 45. Pat Terrell makes the stop. 8 minutes to go in the half, and the Niners on top 17-0 and on the move again.
Hurst doesn't give you a lot of moves, but he just kind of shakes the shoulders a little bit, but he will flat bang into you. Good, tough runner. Covers up the football. Had troubles when he was a rookie fumbling the football, but has been covering it up ever since, and you can see right there he's protecting it.
What an outstanding start to this football game by the 49er offensive line.
From the 45, Floyd loses the football, and the Panthers get it back at the 45. Michael Barrow recovered it. And Jerry Richardson, the founder of this team, likes what he sees through the spec. Still 17-0 San Francisco.
William Floyd covers up the football just as it's handed to him. Now he sees a little opening, but he does not see Lathan. And he pulled it over to the right hand, trying to sprint through the hole, and Lamar Lathan knocked it out of there.
Didn't take much of a tap to free that football.
Biaka Batuka's in the game. He has the ball, their #1 pick last year, who a year ago today suffered a season-ending knee injury, had major surgery on the knee, and Dom Capers feels he is just about 100% now.
And every week they'd like to get Tamanga more and more carries. And of course, there's a guy that knows a little something about coming back from major knee surgery. But Biaka Batuka has got to become a bigger part. He's a wonderful complement to Anthony Johnson.
2nd and 6. Biaka Batuka lays down a block, and that's caught somehow by Carrier in a lot of traffic for a first down. Mark Carrier started his career with Tampa, then went to the Browns, and then here, tackled by Drakeford and Woodson.
Carrier and Woodson were all wrapped up together, and Woodson just kind of lost his bearings, and as he went down, ball all of a sudden was right in the hands of Carrier. They're all tied up together there. He tried to leap in to knock it away, but a good concentration on the part of Mark Carrier.
6.5 to go in the half. San Francisco leading 17-0 from the 32-yard line. Collins deep, and it is Merton Hanks, but out of bounds. He's out of bounds. Not his second pick, but that close.
We have seen these last 3 or 4 weeks in the NFL a lot of passes completed to the outside portion of the field because of poor safety play. Safeties weren't getting over. Well, forget that against the 49ers. Tim McDonald, and in this case Merton Hanks, will get to the outside of a football field. And Merton Hanks, look at him, he has it, then he doesn't have it, and that is a wonderful piece of officiating. Even though the ball never touched the ground, Merton Hanks did not demonstrate control when he went out of bounds.
Now on 2nd and 10. Collins slings it sidearm, rifles it to Mark Carrier. He's inside the 15, and a first down for the Panthers. Woodall makes the tackle.
Oh, what a nice pass by Kerry Collins, looking to the outside. He picks up Mark Carrier on the slant across the middle and just whips it to him sidearm.
He throws that thing sidearm and falling backwards.
Look at this. He's looking out to the outside, falls backwards, rifles it into Carrier. Good concentration again by Carrier. And a lot of traffic.
That's a lot of pizzazz on the football for a guy that took a hop backwards when he threw it.
From the 13-yard line, they give it to Biaka Batuka, and the kid who was born in Zaire and grew up in Canada, then went to Michigan, gets a yard. Tripped by Bryant Young. 2nd down and 9.
He was stroked by Bryant Young. Again, Skrepenek in the locker room with back spasms. Bucky Greeley taking his place and trying to handle Bryant Young and Stubblefield, a tough task.
Panthers, a lot of trouble deep down, second worst in the league to San Diego. Bucky Greeley, the guard. Greg Skrepenek still out. He is questionable in terms of returning. The left guard, back spasms.
This is where they like to go to Wesley Walls, their tight end.
Walls set up on the right side. Collins under pressure, sacked at the 18-yard line by Dana Stubblefield.
What a wonderful way to build a defensive football team if you could start with 2 all-pro defensive tackles, and that's what the 49ers do. Just a good inside rip by Dana Stubblefield, keeps driving upfield, and even going down he trips up Kerry Collins.
2 first-round draft picks. Stubblefield first in 93, Young first in 94.
3rd and 14 from the 17-yard line. Collins does it. It's caught by Caruth for the touchdown. And they went to work on Drakeford, a guy they killed in San Francisco last December.
Well, and I'll tell you, that from a rookie was great timing with Kerry Collins. It was a sprint towards the end zone. Drakeford was sprinting with him, took his eyes off him for a moment. Caruth set up. Watch this.
Watch him throw out the air brakes.
But Drakeford didn't pull up. Took his eyes off to look back, and Caruth had set up, and Collins was right there with the ball.
That's some ability by Caruth, Frank, to run that fast like you're running into the end zone on a fly pattern and then throw out the brakes like that.
John Casey for the point after. So Carolina fumbled, but then Floyd fumbled, and the Panthers cash in and get back in the game. All of a sudden, San Francisco 17, Carolina 7.
My name is Frank Maddox. I'm a baseball scout for the Seattle Mariners. 244 pounds, he's probably a little hefty. We need somebody else for center field. But there's no way I'm going to Phoenix, man. It's too hot. You gotta try to look in the future, and that's a tough thing to do.
Mom's calling Enterprise rent a car, because our car is sick.
Enterprise will arrange to pick you up.
Wow.
Drive you to our place and get you on your way.
Everybody loves to be picked up.
Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
Kerry Collins going over things with Steve Berline. the number 2 quarterback, and that's exactly what the doctor ordered for the Panthers, the Floyd fumble.
Really is, and they're expecting so much from this young rookie, Caruth, out of Colorado, and he's come in so sophisticated with what he can do, and we've seen it. He's been just an outstanding player for him.
And it was really the first sign of life by Carolina's offense, and they capitalized. They're not going to get that many opportunities, especially trailing like this, and luckily they seized it, they grabbed it by the throat, and they did something with it.
And how about Tyrone Drakeford? They just killed him in that December game a year ago. They go right back to him with Caruth.
Casey's kick is taken by Chuck Levy at the goal line, and Levy brings it back to the 20-yard line.
Well, now we're going to see if somehow Carolina's defense can feed off this energy of the crowd and realize that their offense has put some points on the board and has them in a position to get back in this game. They've not stopped the 49ers yet.
Against the 49er team, and you can't make too much of what happened opening day. We said it at the top. You lose to Tampa. You lose Jerry Rice probably for the year. You lose Steve Young. You don't know for how long. The offensive line in disarray. And yet this team right now, they're clearly among the elite in the conference.
Well, one thing about it, the stigma of losing to Tampa Bay is long gone.
Yeah. 5-0 are the Bucs, as you know, as Steve Young scrambles and finally throws it away. So all of a sudden, the Carolina defense comes to life. They do the job in the secondary, and Ray Seals chases him to the point where he has to get rid of it.
All of a sudden, the 49ers at 3-1 with that loss to the Buccaneers are thinking, well, maybe that wasn't so bad. We played the Buccaneers closer than just about anybody else there. But Steve Mariucci gets an awful lot of credit for the way he held things together. He had a lot of veteran leadership to fall back on.
2nd and 10, Hurst. And he stopped up at the 21-yard line by Les Miller and Carlton Bailey. And now it sounds like a crowd of 73,000.
And this is a bit of a critical down for Carolina coming up. 3rd down and long. Because if they can hold the Niners here, they're going to get the ball back in pretty good field position.
Well, it's the down and distance where Dom Capers in his zone blitz scheme that he brought in here from Pittsburgh really has an opportunity to shine.
We'll see some imagination here.
3rd and 10 in the din. 4-man rush. Young flushed again, short of the first down, chased out of bounds by Les Miller.
That's good work by that defense. They didn't come with the blitz. They did it with coverage. They forced Young out of the pocket. They were able to take him out of bounds. They're going to get the ball in pretty good field position.
And Steve showing some maturity, not attempting to force the ball in somewhere. Realizing, hey, we've got the #1 defense in the National Football League. Let's punt it away and see if they're up to it.
Oh, and there was a temptation, though, to go for that extra 4 or 5 yards.
Yeah.
I'm sure of that.
Tommy Thompson to punt it. Winslow Oliver back to receive. Good deep kick. Oliver backs up, has it at the 23. Only red shirts are there. And he runs it back to the 31-yard line. Tackled by Frankie Smith. Dom Capers. And he is the subject of the Home Depot Coaches Fact tonight. He's the only head coach in this division, not in his first season in his current job, hired as their original coach. But think about it. Mariucci replaces Seifert at San Francisco. Then Vermeil goes in to replace Rich Brooks in St. Louis. Dan Reeves takes over for June Jones in Atlanta. Mike Ditka becomes the new coach in New Orleans. So every other coach in this division brand new except this guy in his 3rd year. From the 32-yard line. Collins. Flushed, throws it away. 2nd down.
Good coverage by the Niners. Collins wanted to go to Westy Walls, one of the few times they've let Walls off the line of scrimmage. They've really been mugging both of these tight ends. Westy Walls, Brent Jones with the 49ers. They take such a beating trying to get off the line of scrimmage. These are receiving tight ends. They on occasion will give you a good block, but these are guys that can get downfield like wide receivers. So the best way to take them out of the game is to beat them up on the line of scrimmage and in close where the officials can't see it.
Walls had a dream season last year with 61 catches.
2nd and 10, and they give it to Anthony Johnson to the 34. And it'll be third down and about 7. The ageless wonder Sam Mills at 38. Oldest linebacker in the league. The oldest player in the league now is Eddie Murray, the kicker, who was signed by Minnesota, and Warren Moon, the oldest position player. 2-minute warning in Charlotte. 49ers lead the Panthers by 10.
We want you to come to New York, you and your wife.
Behind the mask of power.
John Milton. Kevin Lomax. We're currently representing 25 foreign countries.
Behind the facade of wealth.
Want to come upstairs?
Lies seduction.
I don't like it here, Kevin.
It's into everything. Money laundering for the Eastern Bloc.
Temptation.
Drug cases, murder.
Corruption. Keanu Reeves.
Who are you?
Al Pacino. The Devil's Advocate. Rated R. Starts Friday, October 17th at a theater near you.
Hello, Peterson. Henderson. Listen, can't talk, real busy. Just want to touch base. About that contract, let's get moving on it. Yeah, I'm a mover, I'm a shaker. Let's shake.
We make owning a cellular phone affordable.
Can't do it. Gonna be in Hong Kong.
So you can act like you have a lot of money.
Yeah, how's that stock doing? Up 2 5/8. Well, then sell.
Even if you really don't.
Sell, 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 sell.
Mom! Dad's doing it again!
Circuit City, you can't get a lower price. We guarantee it.
I hate this part.
Monster-Eyes are back at Taco Bell. Get them while they're fresh. Just 99 cents with the purchase of a combo meal. Taco Bell. Want some?
The Goodyear Blimp Spirit of Akron hovering high above this stadium, Erickson Stadium in Charlotte, North Carolina. Spectacular sight on this early fall evening. Temperature at game time in the low 70s. And a reminder that Monday Night Football is now on the internet with all of the facts and figures and the rest. Check it out at abcmnf.com. The Panthers on third down and 8 or 7, and before the play develops, it's Chris Dolman who comes across the line.
Niners ran a safety blitz. They were anticipating the snap count. Dolman got a little early there.
Offside, 56, defense, unabated to the quarterback. Still third down.
Happened a couple times now. I mean, Kerry Collins must have a rhythm that they get into. When you see it happen frequently, usually the quarterback has got himself into a 2 count or a 3 count.
Yeah, he's using a nice long cadence, and that's a very wise thing to do because it's forcing the 49ers to declare themselves. Not only did he find out that they were going to blitz, he induced them into an offsides. Well done.
3rd and 2 from the 39-yard line, and Collins goes down, and he may have picked up the first down as Dana Stubblefield tackles him from behind, and forward progress does net the first.
Well, it helps to be 6'5" and 240, and he just drug a defender for the first down.
They've got to hurry it up here. Collins trying to get his offensive team set.
Panthers with 2 timeouts. Kerry goes the other way, and it's incomplete. Intended for Ismail. Carrier was also there, and the flag is down. And it appears to be going against Carolina.
The red shirts are swarming Kerry Collins.
He has no time at all. He cannot even take a double look downfield.
It's a tremendous upfield rush by this front 4 of the 49ers.
Holding, number 60, offense. Still first down.
That's Bucky Greeley, and he's the guy who's spelling the regular starter Skrepenak.
Unlucky Bucky gets Bryant Young in the lottery, and that's not. I remember the first game I ever started in this league. There he is, 97, working against Greeley. He gets that hook underneath, and Greeley just rides him. I started against Bob Lilly, the Hall of Fame defensive tackle of the Cowboys.
I don't mean to laugh.
Frank, I didn't block him once the entire game. I held him every play.
1st and 20, and the play clock goes all the way down, but they just do get it off. And Collins throws, and it is caught by Winslow Oliver, who takes it to the 40-yard line. 2nd down and 13. Norton makes the tackle. Panthers have 2 timeouts at their disposal.
Good call there. Throw underneath the coverage to prevent defense on that 1st down and 20. Now they've got an easier task.
2nd and 13. Collins hit as he throws, and it is picked off at the 46-yard line by Drakeford. So the cornerback they beat for the touchdown on the pass to Carruth comes back and atones.
And Kerry Collins trying to rush the throw because he gets tattooed the minute he throws it. Another serious rush on Collins. See him hit right on the back of the legs by Dana Stubblefield.
And he knew that pocket was collapsing. He tried to get the ball to Kerry, and it wasn't even close. Well, it gets noisy back there when it starts to collapse all around you.
Drakeford, they pick on him a lot, and that's one of the reasons he has 3 interceptions in the last 3 games. He gets burned, but he also turns in a few big plays.
But Collins obviously has no rhythm because he's being rushed.
Young taken down at the 41-yard line. Michael Barrow gets credited for the sack. The Niners have all 3 timeouts left and use one of them here with a $1:04 to play in the half.
Barrow not letting Steve Young get away that time.
49ers, you take a look at them since 1981. I mean, that is astonishing. If they have the turnover edge in a game, 62-1 over the last 63 games, and since 81, and that's the year that the Niners as we know them got started, with Walsh's 3rd year leading to a Super Bowl win. I mean, it's just an astonishing record.
What do we always say? Good teams capitalize on the other team's mistakes, but that's taking it to the extreme.
And now Steve Mariucci, and there's Carmen Policy, the president of the team, looking on. The owner, Eddie DeBartolo, not here, but watching tonight from Montana. 2nd down and 11 as Young throws, and that's caught by Stokes, and they run him out of bounds to stop the clock, and he's close to a 1st down, covered by Andre Royal.
And unlike Collins, when the Panthers blitzed, the 49ers were able to pick it up. They pick up the blitz here and gives Stokes time to come all the way across the field, the protection for Steve Young to get the completion.
And Stokes, a man right now who is finding his way in the National Football League, has had his problems with dropped and bobbled passes before. Every week now since Jerry Rice has been hurt, J.J. Stokes has improved every single week.
3rd and 1, and it's caught, and that's a 1st down as Owens makes the catch. He knew how much he needed, which wasn't much. Coda runs him out, and the Niners keep chugging at the 45 with 55 ticks left.
Again, a good read by both Owens and Steve Young and the entire 49er offense. The blitz was coming once again by Carolina. They picked it up and just get the hot receiver for the 1st down. Jerry Rice likes what's happening. He was among them playing back from Tampa Bay. He told Steve Mariucci, everything will be all right, coach. I'll be back too.
Yep. Mariucci said that was very uplifting. And that's caught by Owens on a day when every 49er could have had their head down, including their brand new head coach. It was Steve telling us about that Young remark. He said it was uplifting, and then he said my defensive veterans came to me and he said, Coach, we're going to step it up. We want the responsibility.
Steve Mariucci reacted to it. My understanding was that he didn't panic. He went back to work. They went to their meetings like an ordinary week, and everything settled down, and it's really come around for him.
He also said, I wasn't doing as well on the inside as I looked like on the outside.
1st down from the 34-yard line. Young, after faking one way, goes the other way, and that's incomplete, intended for Terrell Owens, who was covered by Eric Davis, the former 49er.
And covered very well by Eric Davis.
Well, he had to, because he was in single coverage. Once again, the Niners doing a great job picking up the Carolina blitz.
Well, Eric Davis has been to the Pro Bowl before at cornerback, and this is why. That's an impossible ball for Owens to get through Eric Davis to make a catch.
The mental clock in Davis's head. He knows exactly when to turn to look for the ball.
2nd and 10 from the 34-yard line. Terry Kirby takes an inside handoff, gets it to the 31 on a mildly curious call as Michael Barrow makes the tackle. And the 49ers, with Anderson loosening up, do not take a timeout. They have 2 remaining. 3rd down and 7.
Here comes the world.
And that's dropped by Brent Jones. Well, that was very strange. The Niners are normally pretty good at figuring out strategy in these situations. Now they've left themselves with a 4th down and a very long field goal attempt.
And they lost a lot of time on the clock.
And they still have 2 timeouts remaining.
That seemed to be a time to take a timeout. You want to keep one in the bank so you can stop it for your field goal attempt.
Not good clock management.
This is the one that Brent Jones would have not only got the 1st down, he might have even got into the end zone. And Gary Anderson is not a long field goal kicker.
No, 49-yarder. Thompson will put it down. This one, though, has the distance, and it is good.
Well, that might be the longest ball I've seen Gary Anderson kick in 5 years.
Officially 48 yards.
And that thing hit the net. That thing was long by 5 yards at least.
That had another 3, 4, 5 yards on it. Gary Anderson has only had 150-yarder since '91.
Gary looking like Morton Anderson. The two of them came into the league together. They spell their name differently. It's O-N for this Gary and E-N for Morton. And through the years, they've been battling each other for field goals and points. And the difference has been that Morton's been better from long distances.
Oh, he overwhelmingly leads in that category.
You know how you hit that drive every now and then that goes 40 yards past where you normally hit it? That's got to be what Gary Anderson's thinking right now.
And as a kicker, you do it when you're not trying.
It's his longest field goal since 1994. So a guy they picked up because Jeff Wilkins, who had done a nice job for them, opted to sign as a free agent with the Rams. So they had to go out into the kicker market and got Gary. And the South African-born kicker has just put them up by 13.
Well, Carolina's going to have to go in and settle down and figure out some way to give their quarterback a little time to throw the football, because they're going to have to throw the ball down 20-7, and they're going to have time to throw the ball. Kerry Collins has been under enormous pressure.
It looks like training table at training camp, and Kerry Collins is a pork chop. They are. There is a mad dash to the quarterback, and not many people are stopping the guys in the red shirts.
Ground ball by Thompson that bounces off a Panther at the 35. And then is taken by Scott Green, who's a fullback by trade. And Green is tackled up near the 35. Lynn Swann, what you got for us, Lynn?
Well, Al, you know, I talked to Jerry Rice before the game about these receivers, Stokes and Owens. You know, he said there's only about this much difference when you talk about the talent level. What he's been coaching the receivers to do is how to be more aware on the football field. When you come up to the line of scrimmage, they have to be mentally like a coach on the field, see that defense and know exactly how they want to respond to it. He says once he gets them to that level, says then they're going to have a greater impact. He said this is a great opportunity. I want them to be the very best. Al?
And he means it, and he's a great tutor.
Talk about studying at the feet of the master.
Yeah. And Owens saluted him last week, as I said before. He scored a touchdown, came over to the bench and gave him the ball. Collins under pressure throws, and it is caught by Winslow Oliver, but just a minimal gain here, and just 7 seconds are left in the half. Each team off next week. It's the bye week. And then the 49ers, I mean, they have a cream puff first half of the season. Carolina, as you can see, 6 games in which they trailed at the half last year, coming back mainly because their defense was so dominant. But the Niners over the next 3 games, St. Louis, Atlanta, New Orleans, but the second half of this season a whole lot different. Collins hit as he throws. It winds up in the arms of Winslow Oliver. He gets it to midfield.
Lucky.
Yep. Oh boy, Collins is going to have a hard time finishing this game if they don't protect him a little better than they have.
And that's the half. And the San Francisco 49ers come to town and lead at the half 20-7 in Charlotte. And right now we go to New York, check in with Chris Berman. Chris.
All right, Al, thank you. Coming up on our Lexus halftime report, scintillating saunters by the Sanderses. Say that 3 times fast. And oh, those Tampa Bay Bucks. We'll listen into Destiny's Darlings thanks to Hardy Nickerson. The hits just keep on coming after this message and a word from our ABC station.
I'm Gary Plummer of the San Francisco 49ers. It was teamwork that earned me this Super Bowl ring. and teamwork wins in the community too. And that's what the 49ers are doing here. We're part of the NFL United Way team, making available the opportunity for those students who are at risk to receive an education. This is just one way in which the United Way is getting the job done by building better communities. The NFL, the United Way, and you, the power of teamwork.
ABC Family Tuesday is tailor-made with twice as much Tool Man and the Soul Man mixed in. Here we come! Starting with a special home improvement. Then it's Dan Aykroyd in the season premiere of Soul Man. And a powerful new home improvement pits father against son.
You're acting like some tyrannical fascist.
Did he just call me a dinosaur?
Followed by two more funny families, Hiller and Diller.
He wants our paper on a great American hero to be about Bugsy Siegel.
He only invented Las Vegas, baby.
ABC tomorrow.
My prayer is to linger with you at the end of the day in a dream that's divine.
Why don't we think of homemaker as a job? Isn't the homemaker the CEO of the home? What if the homemaker were unable to work for months or years? What would happen to the company called home? Unum insures homemakers. We see farther.
Should high school athletes be tested for drugs? The controversy at 11.
The Lexus Halftime Report, brought to you by Lexus and the new LS 400. When was the last time you felt so connected to a car? Once again from our New York studio, Chris Berman.
Hi, everybody. Boy, the season is topsy-turvy. The champion Packers upset by the Lions a week after Detroit looked pathetic against the Saints. The Jaguars lose for the first time this year at Washington. But how about the Pirates of Pewter, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? Not only are they 5-0 for the second time ever, it's only their second 5-game winning streak ever, as opposed to 17 losing streaks of 5 or more. And they're doing it with their heads.
Let's go, baby.
Hardy Nickerson's head is hard. The Bucs special teams played hard. Al Sherman Singleton, the double dip, the block punt, and the touchdown against the Cards. Cat scratch fever. Nickerson went Hardy har. Nickerson and the Bucs can bring the defense.
I feel it.
5 minutes left, down 18-12. 4th and 6. Trent Dilfer to Carl the Truth Williams. 31-yard touchdown. 19-18. Hey, Tampa Bay.
That's what I'm talking about. How about it? A hard-fought number 5, baby. That's what it's all about. Bring on the Packers. Bring on the Packers.
You got to win some games like this to win championships, okay? We weren't on. We made some mistakes. We had the lead, lost it. But the thing we did, we played 60 minutes. And that's what champions do.
What a calming influence head coach Tony Dungy is. Tampa Bay at Green Bay next week, the one-time Bay of Pigs. Now the game of the year to date in the NFC. The AFC game of the year to date, undefeated New England at undefeated Denver right here on Monday Night Football. And speaking of prime time, Deion Sanders, late third quarter. Cowboys home against the Bears, takes the punt at the 17, makes him over the 25-yard line, splits the defense of the 40, and look at him go. 83 yards. Punter Todd Sauerbrunn, woo! I don't think so. His first punt return as a Cowboy. He has touchdowns as a Cowboy, Niner, Falcon, Red, Giant, Brave, Yankee. He also stole 3 bases. Wow. But Deion was only the second most impressive Sanders yesterday. Barry was the best. Back at halftime right after this.
Its beauty will draw you in. Its new engine will pump the valves of your heart. And the line that separates man from machine will disappear. Completely. Introducing a new kind of LS400. You've never felt so connected to a car.
It's the moment you've been waiting for. The moment your questions will be answered.
I was thinking maybe you did it.
The moment you know.
Any chance I get a marriage out of this?
Blue is back. It only happens once. The season premiere, NYPD Blue, ABC tomorrow. Viewer discretion advised.
Get online with Monday Night Football at abcmnf.com.
Back to halftime, it's been all 49ers. They lead the Panthers 20-7. The greatest running backs in NFL history. You know the names. Number 1 all time, Sweetness, Walter Payton. Number 2, Eric Dickerson. Number 3, TD, Tony Dorsett. Number 4, the incomparable Jim Brown. Always wanted to do that. Number 5, Franco Harris. But not anymore. Barry Sanders for the Lions yesterday against the Packers. Passed Franco to go number 5 all-time on the NFL rushing list. 139 yards, and the biggest run in the second quarter, late. 46 yards. Bitter patter at Barry's feet. The Lions upset the Pack, and if he keeps the same frenetic pace of about 98 yards a game, he'll pass Eric Dickerson for number 2 all-time by the end of the season. This just in. Barry Sanders. He's good. Al, let's go back down to Carolina, and this just in, the first half, 49ers, they're good.
Chris, they're very good. And, you know, it's funny when you think about it. It was 4 weeks ago that Steve Young was hurt in Tampa Bay, and there was so much talk about whether Steve Young should retire or whether he should continue to play. He'll be 36 years old in a couple of weeks. He's had a tremendous career. He seriously thought about it, but going back to August 31st on opening day, Warren Sapp gets to him, and then the knee of Hardy Nickerson knocks his helmet off. He suffers the concussion. He sits out a week, but he comes back, and he's been brilliant over the last 3 weeks. Tonight, he caps a perfect first drive with this pass to Terrell Owens for a touchdown. They don't want him to run very often, but occasionally he has to, and he makes it pay off with his 2-yard touchdown run. And tonight in the first half, Steve Young has thrown the ball 17 times. He's completed 11 for 1 touchdown and thrown for 100 yards. And he has his team right now leading by 13 as they seek a 4th consecutive win. At halftime, San Francisco 20, Carolina 7.
I'm the road to Canterbury. Hello, dear. Thank you. Of course, you Americans hate the rain. Oh, it's too wet and scary. Mommy won't let me come out and play.
The road is calling, and the 1998 ES300 with front-wheel drive and available traction control will help you answer it.
Not bad, but you're on the wrong side of the road.
The Lexus Halftime Report has been brought to you by Lexus. The future of Lexus is here. Fasten your seatbelts. We'll be back with the second half kickoff after this from our ABC stations.
ABC Wednesday's got it all. First on a new Spin City, Raquel Welch is Paul's sexy mother.
She's a smoking hottie!
Then, for 20 million people, it was love at first sight.
Kiss me on the double.
Where exactly would that be? Dharma and Greg. Then, the Drew Carey Show and the City of Cleveland team up for the biggest production ever. Check out his newest music video. Drew Carey rocks. Then, Ellen's climbing a rock. It's the funniest cliffhanger you'll ever see on ABC Wednesday.
Nights feature playoff fever with Mariners Magic. Eric Johnson puts his spin on the season that was and fires you up for a wild run to the World Series. A Como News 4 special, Mariners Magic, tonight following Monday Night Football on Como ABC4.
Jack, I want you in my next movie. Picture this. You're an undercover karate cop who doesn't play by the rules. And you're teamed with a rookie, or a babe, or a chimp. What do you think?
Picture this.
A delicious chicken sandwich. It's spicy. It's crispy. I call it the Spicy Crispy Chicken Sandwich. What do you think?
I love it. Well, that's too much.
Hey gang, Eric Johnson here with the info many of you have been waiting for. This week's qualifier in ABC's Monday Night Football sweepstakes to win a trip to the Super Bowl this January in San Diego. And tonight's winner is...
Eric, it's Kathy Torgerson of Marysville.
If your name wasn't drawn this week, you still have time to head to Al's Auto Supply. Then watch next week for your chance to win.
Every so often, something new comes along that makes people go back to rethink. Go back to reconsider. Go back to the drawing board. Introducing the larger, more powerful Accord. An Accord like no other. From Honda.
Good evening. We hope you're enjoying tonight's game between the 49ers and the Panthers.
And we want to invite you to stay tuned after Monday Night Football. You can feed your playoff fever right here with Mariners Magic. It's a special look back at the M's incredible 1997 season and the players who made it happen, and a look ahead to the playoffs. That's at about 9 o'clock right after tonight's game.
And then we hope you'll join us for the latest news, weather, and sports on Como News 4 at 11 o'clock. See you then.
ABC's NFL Monday Night Football, brought to you by Miller Lite, now official beer sponsor of the NFL. Jeep, makers of the Jeep Grand Cherokee, Cherokee, and Wrangler. And Tylenol, the pain reliever hospitals use most.
And we're back. Charlotte, North Carolina, named after, and there's a statue of Queen Charlotte. She was actually a German princess. Went to England, married King George III. First day she met him. Sounds like an arranged deal to me. And they named this town after her. Queen Charlotte.
Boy, are we on top of it.
Yep. And stuff you'll only hear on Monday Night Football.
Charlotte, the Queen City of the South. And
the stadium built right on an old gold mine shaft.
Ever growing, and what a sports mecca it has become.
Yes. With the Hornets. And hockey up the road in Greensboro, and eventually Raleigh as Bates takes the second half kickoff. And Michael Bates comes back the other way, and he'll turn the corner. This is a guy who's won an Olympic medal. Out past the 40 to the 47-yard line. That's a thrill.
He must have covered 100 yards easily.
A thrill for everybody but George Stewart. Take a look at the numbers for the first 30 minutes of play. With the score 20-7. Direct from the airport.
A modest recovery. You see the Panthers with 109 total yards. Keep in mind they had zero, nada, zilch in quarter number one.
But three turnovers, Dan.
Yep.
Bates, the bronze medalist in the 200 at Barcelona, sets him up at the 47, and Anthony Johnson takes it to the 50-yard line.
Kind of pressure that they put on Kerry Collins. They were fortunate there weren't more. Still having a hard time is Carolina getting the ball to their leading receiver from a year ago, Wesley Walls.
Second down and 7. As Collins throws, and that's incomplete. Trying to gun it over to Ernie Mills. Third down.
Good coverage. Darnell Walker filling in for the injured Marcus Pope.
Kerry Collins, he was drafted in the first round in the first draft that the Panthers participated in. Bill Poley and their general manager, he loved him because he felt, and Bill was at Buffalo when they were building their Super Bowl teams. He reminded him very much of Jim Kelly.
Well, it's the enormous size. You know, a quarterback like that is going to be able to take a physical pounding. Collins certainly has demonstrated that he can do that.
False start. Number 60, offense.
That's Bucky Greeley, and Dan's been talking. There's Bill Polin right there, one of the great minds in this game. He put together 3 Super Bowl teams up in Buffalo, but Bucky Greeley is having a problem.
Well, Bucky's, again, trying to deal with the enormous quickness off the ball of Bryant Young. He just just misfired and went early.
3rd and 12. Here come the Niners on a jailbreak. And Collins is able to pick up a couple of yards before he's dragged down by Barker, but well short of the first down. And they'll kick.
And this is just complete and utter domination by the front four, and in that case with an added blitz. But this is all created by the fact that the 4 down linemen of the 49ers are just overwhelming the offensive line of Carolina.
Ken Walter. Line of scrimmage is the 50. Ihani Owezuke is back for San Francisco. Good high floating kick, and it takes a propitious Carolina bounce and is down at the 5-yard line. Niners start deep in their own territory, down by Damon Fieri. Early in the 3rd, Niners by 13.
It is a deliberate departure from the norm. 180 degrees from expected. Spacious leather-trimmed interior. Heated front seats. And an Infinity 10-speaker audio system. The new Chrysler Town & Country LXI. Built on the belief that great cars appeal to a more passionate side. Chrysler, engineered to be great cars.
I command a small elite unit.
A decorated soldier.
Welcome to our family.
Framed for a crime.
There's been a mistake. The First Lady's been hit. Oh, he's up there!
He didn't commit.
This is a matter of national security. Take him out.
What they wanted was a fall guy.
But I didn't pull that trigger.
What they got was a run for their money.
What are you gonna do? I'm a Marine. We don't plan, we improvise.
Most Wanted. Rated R. Starts Friday, October 10th.
What did hundreds of people from all across America discover in Chicago at the 3rd MGD blind date? David Bowie. With special guests, the Chemical Brothers. The Miller Genuine Draft blind date. Small clubs, large bands, big mystery. MGD Music. What's next?
I can't believe the quarterback just did that.
Well, clearly he thought the receiver would break the pattern off inside, but instead he ran it as an out pattern.
I find you so attractive right now.
Home Improvement Tuesday.
Panthers defensively go without Mike Fox, strained left shoulder, the starting defensive left end, and Les Miller, number 69, will take his spot along the front. Lamar Lathan trying to get his group and the fans into it as they have the 49ers pinned at their own 5-yard line. And San Francisco's first possession of the second half begins with Garrison Hurst taking it up to the 8-yard line for a gain of 3. 49ers, and you think back, Bill Walsh took over. He had never had head coaching experience in the NFL. Fabulous success, Hall of Fame. George Seifert got the job in '89. He had never been an NFL head coach. And then everybody was shocked when Steve Mariucci, who last year was the head coach at the University of California, before that an assistant coach with the Green Bay Packers, got the job. 2nd and 7, and they give it to Hurst again, and he's bottled up at the 9-yard line. It's Les Miller making the tackle. That's a pretty good scene. Lathan and Miller headbutting with an exclamation point.
Well, it has been the backbone of this football team. Of course, remember we saw Kevin Green without a helmet headbutt Jim Druckenmiller the second week of the season in St. Louis in their game against the Rams. You know, headbutts just are ordinary headbutts now as long as you're wearing a helmet. Kevin Green kind of took it to that next level.
3rd and 7 from the 8. Young dumps it over the middle. It's caught by Owezuke, breaks 2 tackles, takes it to the 19-yard line, and a first down. Pantero couldn't get him, and he broke another tackle, and it's a 12-yard pickup and a first down. Speaking of Kevin Green, speaking of headbutting, if you missed it, in St. Louis, Druckenmiller's going to get the start, second week, and Kevin wants to, even though he is inactive, get Druckenmiller into the game. And Young looking on in amazement. First down at the 19-yard line. Young throws, caught at the 29 by J.J. Stokes, who almost broke it all the way, tackled at the 44-yard line, tripped up by Cota.
Boy, it helps to be 6'4". Steve Young, again, under great pressure. He got hit after he released the football, as he did on the play before to Uwezike, but he was right in there with the ball. But Stokes, again, we talked about the height early on. He's 6'4". He uses all of it to go up and come down with the football. Pat Terrell thought he had an interception. He just caught air.
These fans have to be stunned, thinking what a difference between 1996 and 1997. That was a type of a situation backed up against a goal line where this defensive team just feasted on the other team last year.
Young from the 43 throws in traffic, complete. Terrell Owens at the 47 and close to another 49er first down.
I know these people are just thinking, Frank, that this is some kind of an aberration, that nobody can be moving the ball like this against us so consistently.
And number 80 is wearing number 81 tonight.
They're taking turns, aren't they?
So looks like Jerry Rice, that little step downfield and then the slant in.
Well,
almost impossible to defend.
And this all got started with Uwezike and him breaking 3 Carolina tackles to get the first down.
From the 47-yard line, they send Hurst in motion, give it to Floyd. And William Floyd with a gain to the 43-yard line, a pickup of about 4. Second down and 6 with less than 10 minutes to go. And there's a shot of a beautiful facility. Erickson Stadium. Remember when the Panthers came into the league in '95, when this stadium was still being built, they had to play their first year at Clemson, South Carolina, the college stadium, and then came in here last year. And it is a beauty. And Jerry Richardson, a former Baltimore Colt and a tremendous success as a businessman, was the guiding force to get this franchise. Second down and 6 from the 44-yard line. Floyd to the 40, third and short upcoming. Cragen makes the tackle.
Jerry Richardson is that other third wide receiver, the 2 Hall of Famers. There's a look at the locker room that we went through last night. It's an absolutely state-of-the-art setting, and there is the weight room for Jerry Richardson, war number 87. Of course, the 2 other wide receivers, Lenny Moore and Ray Barrett. He was in good company.
A magnificent facility here at Erickson Stadium. Nobody has anything any better than this.
Third and 2. Young walks it too high as Eric Davis covered Terrell Owens, and it's 4th down.
Well, one guy tonight for Carolina that it's impossible to point a finger at is Eric Davis. His coverage has been just right on tonight. He has been where he's supposed to be. And his play at corner, Frank, I don't know how it could improve a whole lot.
Well, he was a Pro Bowler in '95 with the 49ers, and when they had all those Pro Bowlers. No, he's played really well tonight.
Tommy Thompson to punt. Winslow Oliver will return it. Possibly. And then possibly not. Carolina takes over the 20. So Young and the Niners, they still can't deliver the knockout blow. Carolina hanging in, but still down by 13.
Some decisions are harder than others. The Chrysler Sebring LXI Coupe or the Sebring Limited Convertible. For the passionate side, fully independent suspension, speed-sensitive steering, multi-valve V6, and a luxurious leather-trimmed interior. The practical side, lease the convertible from just $299 a month. And on the coupe, get $1,000 cash back and luxurious leather at no charge. Some decisions are easier than others. Chrysler, engineered to be great cars.
Bonjour. No matter how you do business,
Right this way.
it makes sense to rent from Dollar.
Gentlemen, I prepared for your comfort.
Dollar is right at the airport with low rates. So you can always afford to entertain your clients in style. And right now at Dollar, you can rent a Dodge Neon for just $27.99 a day. Dollar Rent-A-Car. Dollar. Makes sense.
Prudential is presenting our Monday Night Football fact. The highest pass rating over a 2-game span in NFL history in the same season. Craig Morton of Denver, back-to-back games in '81. John Brody, the ex-49er, in '65. And then Steve Young, the third highest over the last 2 weeks against New Orleans and Atlanta.
He's 14 of 21 tonight, Al, for 145 yards and a touchdown. That's not going to hurt him much.
Carolina from the 20. Biaka Batuka is the running back. They're down by 13. Biaka Batuka picks up a couple. So much written and said about Kevin Green. I mean, he was the big subplot tonight, but he really hasn't been in on much. 1 assist. Remember, he was signed here to a 2-year deal. Bill Polian, the day before training camp, called his agent and said, look, he said, I'm going to increase the offer. He already got a $350,000 roster bonus. He increased the salary to $1,250,000 and put it $500,000 of incentives in. He could have made over $2 million. The Niners got him for $950,000 guaranteed and $550,000 in incentives. So on a best case basis, he's cost himself $500,000 by going to San Francisco. And that's caught by Scott Green up at the 23-yard line.
Who's the agent?
Well,
they'll have to have some kind of an impact. He wanted to be there, though, didn't he, Al? He was looking for a Super Bowl ring, but that's a rather expensive move.
It's a problem, you know, for some of these guys. They think that they're worth a little bit more, and then you put yourself out into the marketplace, and who knows what happens. But in the meantime, if you'll recall, the paper said he got a 6-year, $13 million deal from San Francisco. Completely bogus in reality. Collins throws, and that is knocked down by Bryant Young.
Bryant Young. Here's the 49ers giving the Panthers a little of that zone blitz, dropping a 300-pound defensive tackle 10 to 15 yards downfield with the agility to get up and bat away a pass.
He did, Dan. Look at him. He's back at least 10 yards. Oh, he wanted to get it.
He's dropped off on the one side, and Junior Bryant, another defensive tackle, has got the other hook zone. Some athleticism.
Ken Walter to punt. High floating and a relatively short kick, and it is fair caught on the run at the 45 by Owezike. Niners have it near midfield. Bryant Young continues to do the job, as do the Niners, up by 13.
Pennzoil, formulated to protect against the hazards of stop-and-go driving, presents protection at its best. In Week 4, which offensive line allowed its quarterback to throw 5 touchdown passes? Stay tuned.
Every 10 seconds or so, a stop sign goes up somewhere in America. And every 30 seconds, a traffic light goes up. It's as hard on your car as it is on you. It's stop and go. Stop and go. Stop and go driving. Use Pennzoil. Formulated for today's stop and go driving. Stop, go, Pennzoil.
Last week, the Green Bay Packers' aerial attack scored 38 points in a win over the Vikings. Brett Favre threw 5 touchdown passes to 4 different receivers, including Antonio Freeman and Terry Mickens, as Green Bay improved to 3-1 on the year.
Touchdown, Mickens.
It is a deliberate departure from the norm. 180 degrees from expected. Spacious leather-trimmed interior. Heated front seats. And an Infinity 10-speaker audio system. The new Chrysler Town & Country LXI. Built on the belief that great cars appeal to a more passionate side. Chrysler, engineered to be great cars.
Wednesday, take the sperm of a genius and create a superior baby. 15 years ago, they tried. What happened? You'll find out on Primetime, ABC Wednesday.
College football Saturday, Miami against Florida State. Seminoles #4, Iowa against Ohio State. Notre Dame, Stanford, Texas A&M, Colorado. And then the Pats and the Broncos, 2 unbeaten teams next week on Monday Night Football from Denver. New England against Denver. Bledsoe, Elway, next Monday night.
Might be the 2 best teams in the NFL.
Right now, from the 45, Garrison Hurst. Talking about the big contract, Steve Young, remember when he was playing with the USFL, he announced it as a $40 million deal back in 1984. I was talking to him about it a couple of weeks ago. He said, yeah, he said, after I got about $3 million, most of it was in an annuity. Then I needed $1 million to extricate myself from the deal to play with Tampa Bay. Then you pay the agent, then you pay your taxes. You got about $1.2 million out of it. Dan Dierdorf has just signed a 500-year, $4 billion contract.
I wish. Al Michaels has just brought you Dialing for Dollars.
2nd down and 7. Young throws, and that's incomplete. But the point is, it's a game of agent ego these days. For the fans' benefit, when you read about these deals, it has no basis in reality. It's a case of an agent being able to say with the team, and the team is complicitous here very often, you know, let's make it a long-term deal to when the guy's like 43 and throw a whole bunch of millions in there.
The net result for the folks in Carolina is that the guy who had 14.5 sacks for them last year is now playing for their arch rival, their divisional rival, and that's made them all very, very unhappy, and it has made the Carolina Panthers not as good a football team.
Young chased by Miller and chased out of bounds, so the secondary does its job, and Miller, the guy who's replacing the injured Mike Fox, continues to do a decent job tonight. Les Miller out of Fort Hays State, huge in his 11th year. He's been around.
Well, he's a big one too, Al. You said huge, 6'7", and about 305 pounds. How did they get so big?
How do they get so big and able to run like that?
Such good athletes with the size even.
Tommy Thompson's kick. Fielded at the 8-yard line by Winslow Oliver, and he gets dragged down at the 11-yard line. Kevin Mitchell is one of their special team stalwarts and just went ahead and proved it.
Appeared to be some sort of an altercation over on the far sideline in front of the 49er bench. Johnny Greer in a consultation. Wonder if there's a penalty here. We can't see a flag anywhere.
Personal foul, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 27 of the receiving team.
That's Damon Pieri. And so the Panthers backed up with 6:02 left in the third. 20-7, San Francisco.
Some decisions are harder than others. The Chrysler Sebring LXI Coupe or the Sebring Limited Convertible. For the passionate side, fully independent suspension, speed-sensitive steering, multi-valve V6, and a luxurious leather-trimmed interior. The practical side, lease the convertible from just $299 a month. And on the coupe, get $1,000 cash back and luxurious leather at no charge. Some decisions are easier than others. Chrysler, engineered to be great cars.
Back in Charlotte, North Carolina. Monday Night Football here for the first time. Al Michaels, Frank Gifford, Dan Dierdorf, and Lynn Swann.
And that sign is right. The people here have just been overwhelming in their ability to be gracious and good hosts. Fun being here. There was a flying Kevin Green.
Yep. And it's Collins throwing, and that's caught by the rookie Ray Caruth. Ray says, I had it. And the official said, you bet.
Well, credit Kerry Collins just for staying alive. Again, under pressure, had to move out of the pocket. It took a long time for Caruth to uncover, but Collins was patient and got it there.
Well,
toe down, heel up. Good call.
From the 19-yard line, first down. Collins going deep, and it's picked off at the 50-yard line, and Merton Hanks not only picks it off but avoids stepping out of bounds and then cradles it to the turf at the 31-yard line.
And Hanks just sucked Kerry Collins into throwing that ball deep. He was looking right in. Kerry, oh, hang on to your head. Kerry Collins was looking at the receiver who came uncovered deep downfield
Well, it was
Ishmael, and Collins thought he could get to him. Watch number 36, Merton Hanks, sprinting across the field. He covered center field as good as anyone in this league.
2 picks tonight and a near third for Merton.
Hey, you okay?
17 stitches. Can you believe it?
Yeah. I saw the 2x4 that hit you. How's your head? It's gotta hurt.
Man, it did. But the doctor gave me Tylenol. Extra strength.
Tylenol? With everything they have here.
Man, the stuff works. Come on, let's get out of here.
More than aspirin, more than ibuprofen. For the pain of traumatic injuries, Tylenol is recommended the most by doctors.
A 2x4?
Don't remind me.
I heard my door close and I ran out to the truck, and this guy is standing there with a case of beer in his hand, and he tells me, he goes, "Oh, I was putting it back." My days are usually 10 to 12 hours a day. Come in here, get my invoices. From there I get out on the road, start delivering. You see people, you go into the bars and you see people drinking, and you think, that looks good, I wish I could have one right now, especially on a hot day like today. It's a tough job, but I love it.
Well, Merton Hanks with his second interception of the night. The throw by Collins a little too much towards the inside of the football field. Hanks, though, covers so much ground, and I have no idea how his head stays attached to his neck when he does that.
How great is he in a disco, do you think? Here's Garrison Hurst to the 27-yard line. You don't imagine Merton can get it on in a nightclub, do you?
He's got a neck and a half, doesn't he? That thing is... He's double jointed apparently, but he is giving us a textbook lesson tonight on how a safety covers the deep outside. You can work the middle of the field, look at it. Harris Barton, you know, hoping to get back, but you can look at the outside of the field as a safety. Not everybody gets there as well as Merton Hanks.
Hurst, student body left on 2nd and 7. And Garrison Hurst seeking that first down is about a yard shy. 3rd and 1. Cota and Mills converge to tackle him. The amazing Steve Young. 5 times the passing champ. Only Sammy Baugh has won more passing titles, a total of 6 in his career.
Steve won 5 of them in 6 years. That's never been done.
Yeah, and here's a guy, let's face it, you keep forgetting that the first half of Young's career was mainly spent on the bench. They had a guy named Montana there. Perhaps we've heard of him. 3rd and 1 upcoming, and we've got a
timeout. Carolina.
Whistle, timeout.
Number 1. This is a 30-second timeout.
Well, it had to be something that was wrong with the defensive set for the Carolina down like they are to waste the timeout.
Yeah, 3rd and 1. They didn't have the right people in there. And defensive coordinator of the Carolina Panthers, who watched his team perform so well last year, Vic Fangio. Last week they gave up 35 points, and tonight they started out in a big hole and have yet to remove themselves from it.
You touched on it early on. The loss of Kevin Green was so delayed. They thought they might get him back, and they planned on Michael Burrow playing on the inside and Green on the outside. That was their defensive structure. And when Green decided not to come back, Michael Burrow had to go back to the outside Green's position. Andrew Royal came to the inside, and they've had a hard time getting it together.
3rd and 1. Young loves that play on 3rd and 1, and it picks up 2. That little roll to the left, and you look and you seek and you find Garrison Hurst, and you move the chain.
It's just so safe. It's just so high percentage.
Well, the Panthers came with a corner blitz to that side of the field, which of course makes the defense rotate over. Somebody's got to cover some ground to get on Hurst. Young able to maneuver, stay alive, and Hurst able to concentrate and stay with a ball that he initially mishandles.
He's turning in a pretty good receiver. He caught 7 a week ago. This one he has good focus, stays with it, and gets to first.
From the 20, it's Garrison Hurst. And he picks up 6, taking it to the 14-yard line.
49ers going back to the textbook that they demonstrated in the first quarter. And they dominated offensively. They're moving the ball again with the little high percentage passes, moving it on the ground. And it goes right back to the offensive line that has finally come together. It's thin. They can ill afford to lose anybody else, but right now they are functioning well
and come together in a big hurry. On 2nd and 4, Hurst again to the 12, 3rd down and a short 2.
Of course, that offensive line is able to get a little wisdom injection every now and then. Bob McKittrick, their coach, has been there and done that. This guy has been around for a long time and one of the best offensive line coaches this league's seen in a long time.
Bold Bob, there he is.
He's been at the helm of the 49er front 5 for as long as I can remember.
3rd and 2. Young takes off. Little hurdle move to the 3, 1st and goal.
You are looking at the new Steve Young. A couple of times we've seen him take it out of bounds tonight when he could very easily have picked up a 1st down. Not easily, it would have probably been a collision. That time, the end zone, I know, was really beckoning to Steve Young. And he very wisely went to his hook slide, protecting that head. He's only got about 3 yards. He's thinking about it right here. Now I'll put it down. Good decision.
He used to enjoy the collision.
Oh yeah,
and the
hurtling up into the air.
He's thrown for 1, run for 1. Now he gets it to Hurst, untouched, behind a William Floyd block. And the 2 salute each other with a little bit of a headbutt, and the 49ers are now up by 19.
The 49ers circled this date as soon as the schedule came out. When they lost both games last year to the Carolina Panthers, they were stunned. And when they disintegrated like they did at Candlestick at the end of last season, they have been looking to this game for a long time, and they're playing like it.
Anderson, and that disintegration at Candlestick may have led to an earlier departure for George Seifert, maybe 1 year earlier than otherwise.
I hadn't heard him in the playoffs. They lost the bye week. They went against Philadelphia. Steve Young broke his ribs. They beat Philadelphia 14-0. Went up to Green Bay, and Steve Young couldn't play. Played 9 plays, and Green Bay beat the 49ers.
William Floyd leads Garrison Hurst, and Carolina overplaying a run between the tackles in no position to defend the corner.
At the very beginning of the game, we talked about the fact that Niner defensive unit, the veterans, went to Mariucci, said, we will step it up for you. And they have, and they've done it through the first 4 games. And then here's a little sampling of tonight with Dolman in on that play, and Bryant Young has been all over the joint. And Merton Hanks has intercepted 2 passes tonight and nearly had a 3rd, and Tyrone Drakeford, who was burned earlier, and then Bryant Young back in coverage. And what more do you want? Merton picks off his 2nd and runs it back to the 30-yard line to set up another 49er score. And Steve Mariucci, a guy who was zombie-like after that disaster in Tampa on opening day, is on the verge of watching his team go to 4-1 with a bye week, and Atlanta, St. Louis, and New Orleans looming ahead on the schedule. Life is good.
Really wonder how far we're away from seeing Jim Druckenmiller, the rookie quarterback for the 49ers. Came in last week in the 3rd quarter.
Walter Rasby ran that kickback, and now the Panthers, if they are going to go down with more than a murmur tonight, need to get it down the field here.
Well, Kerry Collins threw 4 interceptions last week. He has had multiple 4 interception games, and he's already got 3 tonight. And of course now he's going to be forced to throw the football on almost every down.
First down from the 35-yard line. Collins flings it, and almost with a flag down, almost intercepted by Woodson, who thinks he's just gotten flagged.
Well, somebody out there got flagged.
Woodson is a very physical player, and he was covering Mark Carrier, and he will always play you tight.
Illegal contact. Number 26 of the defense. Tripping. Number 60, offense. The penalty's offset. Still first down.
Bucky Greeley with the trip.
Found something that works, Dan. Anything
you
that
use
works.
anything. Beyond 5 yards, you see the contact initiated by Rod Woodson. He rides Ernie Mills beyond the 5-yard area, but it's negated because of the trip on Bucky. He's working again against Bryant Young, and he sticks his left leg out there and drops the Notre Damer.
Here's Anthony Johnson. Funny to watch Rod Woodson work against Ernie Mills, two guys who spent years working against each other in practice in Pittsburgh. Both ex-Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, Woodson, who had that great game a couple of weeks ago against New Orleans with the 3 interceptions, 1 for a touchdown, a fumble return, player of the week. And of course left that game with a pulled calf muscle and missed last week, but seems to be in good shape tonight.
Final minute, third quarter. Niners lead by 20. Second down and 7. Here they come. Collins throws, and a great one-handed catch made by the very quiet until now Wesley Walls. And if they're to get back in the game, they need Walls to get noisier.
Had a corner blitz, and this time Kerry Collins had a little bit of time. He again had to throw in the traffic. He had to step up. All kinds of folks were coming at him, and a great catch by Wesley Walls, a former 49er who really emerged down in New Orleans before he came here a couple of years ago.
Back behind him, he just sticks out the left hand and pulls the ball into his body.
A great grab.
That was beautiful.
First catch of the night for Walls, the guy who scored 4 touchdowns against the 49ers in the 2 games last year. Collins, nobody home, throws it out of bounds, and that is the end of the third quarter. We've played 3 in Charlotte. San Francisco 27, Carolina 7. Monday Night Football returns after this from our ABC stations.
Wait till you get a load of Paul's mother, sexy Raquel Welch.
You know that Paul is the spitting image of his dad.
I suppose he'd have to be.
It's an all-new Spin City.
She's a smoking hottie!
Followed by Garma and Greg, ABC Wednesday.
There comes a time when you realize you've come about as far as you can on your own. And if you want your investments to go further, you're going to need someone with the expertise and the resources to help you go the distance. It's not an admission of failure. It's an admission of success. It's an acknowledgement of what you've got at stake here. That moment of truth when you say to yourself, okay, no more fun and games.
Smith Barney. They make money the old-fashioned way. They earn it.
After years of perfecting silence, we're ready to make some noise. The future of Lexus is here. Fasten your seatbelt.
At 11 o'clock, $1 billion in bills with an embarrassing mistake.
Start the fourth quarter in Charlotte. Al Michaels, Frank Gifford, Dan Dierdorf, Lynn Swann. It's San Francisco 27, Carolina 7. And on second down from the 49er 43, Kerry Collins gets flushed out of the pocket and has to throw that one away. Chased by
Collins hurt? Is Collins?
Yeah, 3rd and 10. Steve Berline is the backup quarterback, and he comes into view, and they have only 2 quarterbacks. And so Steve, who did play the first 2 games when Collins was recovering from that fractured jaw, will be coming in.
Well, Collins looks like he's trying to get to his feet, but this was almost inevitable. He has been taking a tremendous pounding after he released the ball, flushed out of the pocket on almost every pass play. And here comes Chris Dolman to run him down.
Who's got just great speed.
Landed on his legs.
Pulled him down kind of awkwardly with.
Put a little number on his jersey and then fell on the left leg.
Kerry Collins now just made it to his feet. Hopefully that was a situation where he just got the wind knocked out of him.
An awkward way to go down. That left leg is caught underneath Dolman.
Yeah.
But they're not even looking at it on the sideline, so I think he's all right.
Well, regardless of the situation, if he could come back in now, he still has to stay out of play.
And look at Collins reacting to the crowd cheering Berline coming into the game. That's a stunned look on the face of Kerry Collins. Boy,
famous fleeting.
You know, a lot has happened here tonight, but I don't know how much of it you can lay on the doorstep of Kerry Collins.
Third and 10, and he hits Caruth, and Caruth takes it to the 20-yard line where he's tackled by Merton Hanks. Now, if Collins is okay, and he's telling Dom Capers he is okay, but if you're the coach and you've just watched a guy come in cold off the bench and complete a 3rd and 10, how do you yank him?
And Collins clearly wants to go back in the ball game. He kind of yanked his chin strap off.
It's a tough situation. Berline won 3 games out of 4 starts last year when Collins was injured. He gives you a lot more mobility. And I think maybe Dom Capers is thinking we have to throw the ball. Let's get some mobility out there.
Berline, the ex-Notre Damer, lost one into the end zone and incomplete, intended for another ex-Notre Damer, Rocket Ismail, covered by Darnell Walker.
If you have to throw the football to get back into a game, you're better off if somebody can move around like a Berline than perhaps Kerry Collins, who has really been harassed tonight. Ismail in the corner. That would have been had to have been a perfect throw for a completion. Pretty good coverage. Darnell Walker. Great positioning.
2nd down 10 at the 19. San Francisco leading by 20. Good protection. Caught by Carrier. Bounced out by Woodson. A couple of yards shy of the first. 3rd and a deuce.
Let's go ahead and check the work of Kevin Green. This was the play prior to the last one. Wesley Walls. Now, that is something, though, where Kevin Green goes back and headbutts Walls, thinking he held him. But that's one where San Francisco wins. Even though a good block by Walls, if you keep Walls out of the pattern, you're succeeding. He's their leading receiver. If you're forcing him to stay in and block, you're winning.
3rd down and 3. Berline throws a strike. It's caught by Mark Carrier, and that should be enough for a 1st down, and is 1st and goal. Berline coming in cold and starts off red hot.
Well, he's getting something that Kerry Collins wasn't. He's getting some pass protection. He's getting an opportunity to look someplace and step into his throws. Something that Collins had happen very few times tonight.
On 1st and goal, Berline throws. Caught at the 4 by Ismail. Touchdown.
Yeah, he was an energized team when Berline came in. And he did give him something they don't have with Collins, and that is mobility. But he was releasing the ball much more quickly than Collins was.
Well, Tyrone Drakeford was there to make the play, but Drakeford just didn't bother to wrap up on Ismail. He just gives him a shoulder button, runs right on by. You got to wrap up.
Drakeford again, when he was victimized last December.
You know, Drakeford, I guess he thought he was going to hit Rocket, and he was just going to go flying.
Casey for the point after, and the two Golden Domers, Berline and Ismail, have cut it to 13.
I never met a quarterback, never met a quarterback I like. I want to take him out. It's sissies. They're a bunch of pretty boys. Pretty boys. No ifs and buts about it. A bunch of, watch out. They're easy to intimidate. I can taste it when I hit them hard. Easier to dominate. Just a bunch of prima donnas. Take out the prima donna. Boo! Prima donnas. That's what I'm paid to do.
I'm just shocked they know the word prima donna.
Oh.
Chant, we're not worthy. The new Nissan Altima, starting at $15,000, $17,990 with a lot of stuff.
Here's a handoff. The 49ers are stopped again.
Steve Mariucci is hot.
What'll he do?
Now, every Monday night during football season,
well, he's got to talk to the guys upstairs.
New Sprint residential long distance or wireless customers can make clear calls free.
Nothing's working, huh?
So sign up with Sprint now.
Anything else, sir?
Rice.
Sprint Monday nights. They're free and clear.
Pass to Jerry Rice.
He's gone.
Touchdown, 49ers.
Hey, gang, don't touch that dial right after the football game. Join me for Mariners Magic, the 97 playoffs, all sorts of inside Mariner stuff right after football.
Steve Berline, a Raider, a Cowboy, a Cardinal, and a Jacksonville Jaguar. Now a Carolina Panther has guided his team into the end zone. The 49ers, Chuck Levy runs this kick back out to the 20-yard line. And the Niners with Young coming back in and up by 13. We remind you Saturday night here on ABC. There's your lineup with C16, Total Security, and the practice in primetime this Saturday night right here on ABC. Well, this one, Carolina getting right back at it. Next Monday, of course, we will be in Denver, and what a beauty that's going to be. The two unbeaten teams, New England and Denver, at Mile High a week from tonight. This crowd right now is mile high, thanks to Steve Berline. First down from the 19-yard line. Hurst up to the 26-yard line, and that Niner offensive line keeps opening the holes for the running backs.
Right now, it would behoove the Carolina defense to rise up as their offense did, get motivated, try to stop the 49ers from using that clock.
Another good lead block that time by William Floyd. Here's another guy. Week in and week out, you can see the improvement. You can see him returning to that old form.
Second down and 4. Hurst again. Hurst is stopped a little short of the first down up at the 29-yard line. Sam Mills is right there. 3rd and 1. Monday Night Football is being brought to you by Sprint PCS. Sprint Monday nights, they're free and clear. Nissan reminds you that life is a journey. Enjoy the ride. Southwest Airlines with fares so low you have the freedom to fly. And MGM's Gang Related, starring James Belushi and Tupac Shakur. 3rd and 1. Garrison Hurst on that last carry, his 21st of the night, hit 100 yards. Play clock down to 5.
Listen to this crowd.
Young lofts it. Hits Stokes, and a first down. He's tackled there by Michael Barrow.
And that big target, Stokes just stepped across the line of scrimmage, drove it down about 4 yards, looked back in, and Steve Young was right there with the timing. Keep the clock moving, keep the chains moving.
Eric Davis giving the cushion to Stokes. He thinks that inside alley is taken away by Barrow being in there. Steve Young able to get it underneath Barrow, and nothing Eric Davis can do on that.
1st and 10 from the 33-yard line. Hurst who hit 100 yards on his last carry, and it's only the second time a Niner running back, as you look at the frustrated Vic Fangio, the second time since Ricky Waters left, the Niners have had a 100-yard performance from a running back. Terry Kirby did it last year, and Garrison Hurst has done it tonight.
So much of the 49er offense is a controlled passing game. Their short passing game is almost like other teams run the football, and that is one of the reasons they have not had a lot of running production throughout the years.
Marty Morenwig, second from your left in the jacket. The offensive coordinator, first down from the 45. 10 minutes to play. Flag is thrown. This is Terry Kirby. Flag down. Back of the line of scrimmage. Greg Clark was moving the tight end for San Francisco.
Ball start. Prior to the snap, number 85, offense. Still first down.
Greg Clark, the tight end, was called for movement over in the could be the bottom of your screen here, right? The left side. Yep, that's the movement right there.
Get used to seeing this kid, though. Their third-round draft choice this year out of Stanford. 6'4", 260-plus pounds, and he is going to be a fixture in the NFL for years to come.
On first and 15, Kirby on a draw. The ex-Miami Dolphin chased down by Barrow.
Not many running backs are going to beat Michael Barrow to the corner. Along with Lamar Lathan, the Carolina Panthers have as much speed at the outside linebacker position as a team can possibly have.
Yeah, Kirby made a little more out of that than I thought he'd pick out. He got 4 yards out of it.
Niners tonight averaging 4.6 yards per carry. Very good.
That will control the clock.
And against this defensive team, all the better.
Second and 12. Hurst across the 50 to the 48-yard line. Chad Cota. We were talking about Hurst and Kirby, and in a way 1 and 1A. I mean, they do different things. They do both well. You can keep the team fresh, or your running backs fresh, and it's a nice little double-barreled potent combination for Mariucci. Here comes Kirby.
Boy, what a fine lead block again by Floyd. William Floyd just pounded a defensive linebacker, giving Hurst an avenue.
Third and 4. A little over 8 minutes to play. Kirby on what was a big defensive stop needed by Carolina, picks up the first down, tackled by Cota, moves the sticks, keeps the clock going.
Well, that was just a blowout by everybody to the left side of the 49er offensive side of the ball, whether it be Greg Clark at tight end, Deese at left tackle. Greg Clark at tight end takes his guy 5 or 6 yards downfield and buries him. Watch the block of the tight end. He's still driving his guy, and he just puts him flat down. Mike Minter, number 30. That's just tremendous point of attack blocking by the 49ers.
First down, Hurst. And this is where Young is so masterful, too. I mean, not only does he know exactly what to do, and he's been here 1,000 times, but he takes the play clock down to 3, chews up as much of the clock as he can, taking a peek at it right now.
Exactly what he did. Looking up there, you'll take it right down before the snap.
Here's that block again of Greg Clark. Now look, he keeps his hands inside, doesn't get him outside where he can get called for holding. It's pretty easy to gain yardage behind blocks like that. Yeah, Steve Young is doing a masterful job this drive of handing the ball off, isn't he?
Well, and using all of the clock.
Give the lineman the credit. All he's doing is handing it off.
Second down and 4. Hurst to the 28-yard line. Tackled there by Sam Mills.
I love Steve too, but he's not killing himself on this drive.
Nope, but he is. The point is that when it comes to making the most out of what you're going to do, he's as good as they come.
One of those guards could be looking at that clock and snap the ball at 2.
Spoken like an old lineman, right?
And
an old lineman.
Soon you may see play action for a shot at the end zone by Steve Young.
Garrison Hurst, that is a career high for the guy who played his college ball at Georgia.
That secondary crowding up. They're trying to help stop the run.
It would be good time.
Takes the play clock down to 3. Gives it to Kirby, and they shred the defensive line again, taking it to the 17-yard line.
Man, I can't believe he took it down to 3 seconds. What a good job, Steve. Way to go.
Jeez.
Hey, this is just as good as it gets for this 49er offensive football team. The Panthers just score. They're crawling back into this football game, and you want to desperately assert yourself that, no, this game belongs to me, and that is what the 49ers are doing right now. This is a back-breaking drive.
1st and 10, ball at the 17-yard line. Methodical. Floyd. Stopped by Carlton Bailey. This is the most yardage compiled on the ground by the 49ers in any single game since 1993. The Goodyear Blimp Spirit of Akron, floating high above Erickson Stadium, which was electric after the Burline drive, but has been rendered nearly mute by this 49er counterattack.
A lot of people are leaving.
And this is Hurst, and Hurst takes it to the 13-yard line. And it'll be 3rd down and 6.
49er win tonight. They will have beaten everyone in their division, and they will be 2 games up.
And they have an off week.
Carolina and St. Louis, and they have an off week to get a couple of people healthy.
They have one of the weirdest schedules imaginable, in that they've already played Atlanta, New Orleans, and St. Louis, the weak sisters of the division, and now they get them again, back to back to back, after the open week. Third and 7 at the 13. Hurst. And he's run down by Terrell. William Floyd laid the block, put it on Chad Cota to spring him, and that should move the chains again.
I am so impressed with the lead blocking, and Garrison Hurst takes himself out, but the lead blocking of William Floyd. There's Kevin Gogan pulling. There's the block by Floyd.
Oh, that's beautiful.
That's just, oh, that is the way you dream about it happening.
Hurst got rolled up on and was limping off the field. Did not seem to be too much concern on the sidelines, though.
Bar none is back.
1st and goal from the 5. Straight ahead, Terry Kirby. This drive began at the 19-yard line.
Chad Cota in a little confrontation there.
Garrison Hurst, and again the Niners, since '94, when Ricky Waters chose to sign with Philadelphia, trying to fill the role at running back. And Steve Mariucci and the gang went out, figured Garrison Hurst the guy, and Hurst tonight has paid off in spades. And in combination with Terry Kirby and William Floyd, and with Rice's injury bringing Stokes and Owens to the forefront, using all of the weapons tonight. Rushing tonight, almost 5 yards a carry. And the 49ers take a timeout with 2nd and goal upcoming. The look of frustration for the Panthers. It's been that kind of night.
Eileen, she's been good to us. I reckon it's time I go into town and get us a new vehicle.
All right.
Fairy tales. Wow! And for someone else and not for me.
Leyland, what has gotten into you?
I don't know, but I like it.
For 2
two out-of-control cops.
The man in the car is DEA undercover.
The best place to hide
We're gonna find the killer.
is behind a badge.
We are the killers.
Gang-related. Rated R. Starts October 8th.
Brett Favre passes, intercepted again.
His head is just not in this game.
Now, every Monday night during football season, new Sprint PCS customers can make clear wireless calls free.
Maybe the coaches in the booth can solve his problem.
Hello? Hey, it's Brett.
Other days, calls cost as little as 10 cents a minute.
Can you see if I left my truck lights on?
But on Sprint Monday nights, they're free and clear.
Well, Favre sure looks a lot more relaxed.
This is not your father's FBI. C16, Saturdays on ABC.
Garrison Hurst, picked by Phoenix. The Cardinals in the first round. He was the third pick overall in 1993. Really never panned out there in 3 years. Went to Cincinnati and had a pretty good year last year. And then the 49ers signed him. And tonight, a career high. And this drive has killed Carolina. It's been a nearly 10-minute long drive at second down and goal. And it's Terry Kirby swinging to the outside and makes it pay off as they go 81 yards in a little less than 10 minutes. And it seems like an eternity ago that Steve Berline led Carolina into the end zone to get him back into the game. And just like that, they are finished.
Yeah, the 49ers opened this game with a drive very similar, using the clock, using the short pass, using the run. And now they tack the last nail in.
And game balls to Deese, Brown, Dahlman, Gogan, Scrafford, and William Floyd. Hurst and Kirby get the touchdowns and the glory, but what a job of blocking by the offensive line and the fullback of the 49ers tonight. A+.
Handoff, and Marcus Allen is pounded for another loss.
He really looks flat tonight.
Now, every Monday night during football season, new Sprint Sense long-distance customers can call anywhere in the country free.
Maybe the guys upstairs can jump-start it.
Marcus, it's your wife, man.
So sign up with Sprint now.
Catherine?
Honey, my mom just called back again. Now she's not moving in.
Sprint Monday nights, they're free and clear.
Well, Marcus Allen just seems re-energized.
The undefeated Patriots, the undefeated Broncos. Don't miss the big shootout on ABC's Monday Night Football. Bring on the game now!
49ers have just put it away, and Tommy Thompson's kickoff is a grounder taken by Ernie Mills, who brings it back to the 44-yard line, and that's never a good sight when you see that happening, and the game is not over, and you've got more people on the ramps than you have in the ballpark. NFL Countdown on ESPN begins your day this Sunday. NFL Primetime wraps up your day on Sunday on ESPN. Tampa Bay, Green Bay, the big game on Sunday. And then next Monday night, a beauty for us. It's the latest into the season that Monday Night Football has ever featured a matchup of two unbeaten teams, with Denver 5-0 hosting New England at 4-0. Next Monday.
Think there might be any home field implications out of that game?
And that's tipped, and coming back to make the catch, Lee Woodall was able to knock Berline down and tip it, and then Rocket Ismail was able to catch it.
We'll give my best to Mark Bonicani tomorrow for you, Al, and Dan at the Legends Dinner in New York to benefit the Miami Project and their fight against paralysis. It's a big affair, and
yep, please do.
We're delighted to be a part of.
Berline throws, and the rookie Ray Caruth picks up a first down, takes it to the Niner 39-yard line.
That Miami Project does a lot of absolutely splendid work, Frank.
Tremendous.
Wasn't that many years ago when there was no hope for somebody like Mark Bonicani, and was injured playing the game that we love so much, and now there is. Certainly there is hope down the line for a cure for paralysis, certain types of paralysis. The Miami Project doing incredible work scientifically and medically.
From the 38, catch is made by the Rocket, and he's tackled by Walker. at the 30-yard line as we come down to the 2-minute warning. So Collins simply a spectator right now. Berline will finish it, but the Niners have already finished the Panthers 33-14.
Kiss me. On October 3rd.
Killing's not his ulterior motive. I bet these women are alive. This guy's a collector.
Morgan Freeman.
When it goes down, I need this guy intact.
Ashley Judd.
I'm the only person who's seen this guy. Take me with you.
From the best-selling novel. Just the Girls. Rated R. Everywhere. Friday, October 3rd.
Who cares of the past or behind?
Wouldn't you love to be free? To go wherever your whims take you. Whenever you want. For any reason at all.
Drifting along with a tumbling tumbleweed.
With Southwest, you can.
You are now free to move about the country.
Jumping Jupiter, what is this?
The new Sprint store at Radio Shack, George.
You could win communications for life.
I could win? Let's roll, let's roll.
It's the 21st century.
Win long distance, mobile phones, accessories.
And a free calling card just for coming in.
Win communications for life?
Don't even think about it.
The new Sprint store at Radio Shack. You've got questions, we've got answers.
Tomorrow, are you too old to play the game? This man doesn't think so, and new studies say he's right. It's About Men on ABC's World News Tonight with Peter Jennings.
Check out NFL.com. Score, stats, and video clip highlights of all the games at that address. Might even see Kevin Green in his glory days as well. Hasn't been glorious for him individually tonight, but he certainly wound up on the right side of the field. His team is up 34-14, and Berline gets taken down at the line of scrimmage by Roy Barker.
Oh, we've got a almost tussle back upfield.
For you.
First down 10 now from the 25-yard line. Throw line to Wesley Walls, and he gets popped by Tyrone Drakeford.
Drakeford, who's had a tough night again tonight, taking out a little frustration on Wesley Walls, really popped him.
Second and 5 as Berline guns it toward the end zone and connects for the touchdown with Mark Carrier.
Mark Carrier, who just came in about 10 days ago, released by the Panthers, not brought back. And then when they lost Mushin Muhammad, their leading receiver, they brought him back in, and he has been very effective tonight. One of the few weapons they've had. Little pump fake. And right over Kenny Norton and into the arms of Mark Carrier.
Casey for the point after. And it's not to stir things up, but I mean, it's something that needs to be talked about. Though if you were to ask me what Capers will do in their next game against Minnesota, he goes back to Kerry Collins. But you know, squawk radio, as I like to call it these days, and the rest of the media will make a big deal out of should Steve Berline be brought back as the starter after not only Collins' performance tonight, and albeit you're right, Dan, the offensive line gave no protection, but the game against Kansas City last week as well factors in.
Well, I don't think there's much of a decision. I think that Kerry Collins is the quarterback of this franchise, and if you're going to pull the plug on him now, what are you admitting?
Right.
Now, yes, that's quite a performance by Steve Berline, but I think his role on this football team is the backup quarterback to that guy.
Now, Collins had a rough night. I mean, he had little or no time to throw the football, and granted, Berline had better numbers. And I agree, Dan, you got to stay with the guy that's going to get you somewhere.
Now,
Steve Berline's been all over this league.
Does Dom Capers think, if he's thinking just 1997, and we need to make something happen, and we need to start winning some football games, well, then maybe he says, hey, for the short term, I'm telling you that we better go with Burline. That's his option. He could do it. This season's slipping away.
Onside kick, and they put the good hands folks in there, including their wide receiver, Terrell Owens.
You don't want to say a season is gone at 2-3, but when all three of those losses have come at home where you won every game last year, that's more than just a hairline crack.
And their last two losses have come resoundingly. Ken Wolf, our esteemed producer in his dozenth season, and the master himself, Mr. Craig Steven Spielberg Janoff.
The best.
That's what they called him in the paper today. Joe Chavo, he's better than Spielberg. Joe Chavo is our technical director. Our associate producer is Ben Ace Harvey. Jaime Bravo, our associate director.
Brilliant.
Absolutely. From the 44-yard line. Garrison Hurst goes next to nowhere. And the rest of the gang on this, the 28th season of Monday Night Football. The guys who make it all happen in terms of the pictures and the satellite transmissions and all of the rest. Chris Pfeiffer and Bill Bolden, the assistants to the producer. Kim Bauer keeping the booth in order, and upstairs as always with Steve Hurd, our director of research and information downstairs, our statistician George Hill, and our spotter, the one and only Malibu Kelly Hayes.
Somehow Kenny Wolf has kept us hitched to the same wagon, headed the same direction week in and week out. Talk about battle pay.
And that wagon is on the way to one of my favorite cities, Denver, Colorado.
Kenny, of course, keeping us on the wagon.
Foot of the Rockies. We'll be there next Monday night.
Not for long.
Right. That's right. For about another minute.
Final timeout for the Panthers. This one ably directed by Steve Young. I think you will admit that, won't you, Dan? I know the offensive line did it all, but he did have a little.
Oh no, he had a fine game, and then the running game was there, and they started this game strong. No, Steve Young, he's the man that makes it all happen, but you know, sometimes he's had to try to create too much back there, and if they continue to have this kind of success running the football, look out. This is an offensive football team that is right back where they have been in years past, and that's almost unthinkable when you think that Jerry Rice is over on the sidelines. They'll never be the same team without Jerry Rice, but this is a most impressive performance against a quality defensive football team.
Well, a lot of things are born from adversity, and J.J. Stokes and Terrell Owens, well, they have certainly stepped up their pace in their game.
And Steve Mariucci, a guy who started this season about as low as a young coach can get. He loses a Hall of Fame receiver. He loses his quarterback for who knows how long at that point. His offensive line in tatters. He's, of course, under the gun with a franchise that has the highest expectations in sport. He's a young coach with a partially new staff. And he's got to fly back from Tampa and then make another road trip the following week, knowing he doesn't have Steve Young, and he's got to start a rookie. And all of a sudden, you're looking at Steve Mariucci and the 49ers at 4-1 with 3 softies ahead on the schedule. Not that you can't get upended, but that's the way the schedule breaks for him. And a team that right now, I mean, you tell me,
has beaten every team in their division.
Well,
but you take all those things, Al. What is the one thing you'd really love to be able to fall back on? Veteran leadership. And he had plenty of it on that airplane on the way back from Tampa.
He's got it.
Oldest team in the league. Doesn't hurt.
Thompson's kick, and it's a beautiful tackle in the open field by Curtis Buckley.
A lot to be said for the veterans, and they have 14 players that are 32 years or older. They're fine. They're great to have. The only problem when they do get injured, if they have the little nicks and bruises, they sometimes take a little longer getting back than the young ones.
Yes, Keith Jackson would say, you take a look at the grizzled veterans of the 49ers right now.
These guys,
little hosses out there.
They need to take an extra big airplane just to handle that extra weight of all those Super Bowl rings that are floating around that airplane.
A few carrots on that craft.
And not for the donkeys either.
Well, this one wraps up in Charlotte. Berline hit as he throws, and it ends with a near pick by Norton and a dumping of Berline. And I guess that's symptomatic and emblematic, and a little shower given to Steve Mariucci as the Panthers drop to 2 games behind in the NFC West. And the 49ers knock off Carolina. The final score 34-21. Back in a moment.
Garrison Hurst had a career high today of carries, 28 carries, 141 yards and 1 touchdown. Garrison, that looked like your college days back at Georgia.
Felt good. You know, those big guys got up front. You know, we knew we had to run the ball in the end to control this game. You know, Carolina stayed in. You know, you give credit to them, but we came out and we did what we had to do to take the game.
You know, they've been talking about the running game for San Francisco for a long time. What was the team talking about in that last drive when you just took it to Carolina?
You know, they had just scored. We knew if we could take the ball down, get a score out of it, it'll be our game.
Garrison's a great ball game. Everybody says with a good running attack, San Francisco might be the best in the NFC.
Yeah, I hope that's right. We're going to keep things rolling.
Garrison, thank you. Congratulations on the great ball game.
Thank you.
Al?
Thank you, Lynn. Well, clearly the Niners look like the, 49ers. Like the old 49ers, 34-21. They beat Carolina. Great one next week. Patriots, Broncos, 2 unbeaten from Denver. Until then, Al Michaels, Frank Gifford, Dan Dierdorf, Lynn Swann. Good night from Charlotte, North Carolina.
Saturday on ABC Sports, it's a college football double faces Florida State. Then at 3:30 Eastern, don't miss regional action as Iowa meets Ohio State. It's a college football doubleheader. At noon Eastern, Miami faces Florida State. Then at 3:30 Eastern, don't miss regional action as Iowa meets Ohio State. Notre Dame tackles Stanford, or Texas A&M faces Colorado. Follow the games on AOL, keyword ABC Sports. Now stay tuned for your late local news, followed by ABC News Nightline and Politically Incorrect. On the West Coast, stay tuned for Time Cop. This has been a presentation of ABC Sports, recognized around the world as the leader in sports television.